I'm making the post now. I'm just letting them know we're just gonna do the matches as they are in challenge, and we're gonna make them first to 3, and then after that we'll just have casuals open, and then I'll also link your stream. Put this in Discord Tourney's channel as well. Wow. Okay, and get that sweet Twitch TV adapter adapt link. I like that you offer us a nice choice there. Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, I haven't put the link yet. Or did I? No, I haven't. Okay.
For all one of our viewers out there, hey, what is up? Welcome to our Net Play versus, or I'm sorry, Here Comes Daredevil, presented by Net Play versus.
Ready for some Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle?
Woo! Wait. I thought we were playing Unist.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Cross Tag is next week, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, how'd we end up in Guilty Gear?
Oh shit! All right, well, I guess we'll just play it out. I mean, I like Guilty Gear.
Yo,
game.
Yeah, sure, we're here. Hell yeah, Kudro. What is up?
I'm here to mash. Hell yeah.
We want you here to mash.
Absolutely.
I was reading this Twitch post earlier, or maybe it was a Reddit, and there's like, I don't like streamers who fake positivity. Well, let me tell you, I am not fake. So when I'm positive, I'm positive. And you'll damn well know when I'm being negative. Anyway.
Is there a password for the room? No. If you click on the link that I've put in the beginner matchmaking lobbies, or the beginner lobbies channel on the Discord, it should just have you join. It's set to be specific, so you can only join if you click that link. You won't be able to join if you just search for lobbies. Yep.
Point being, I am excited to be here, and it's genuine.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, okay. Abstract is going to take a moment. No worries at all.
Yeah.
We're going to be running a first to 3 with Kodro and Saucy Grandma first, anyway.
Nice. And just to let you know out there, the entrants who will be doing more of a helpful type based commentary. We will do our best to keep it to instead of oh, you should have done that, and then not really elaborate, to kind of talk about more the reasons why we're suggesting and we're not going to nitpick everything you do. It's not about that. It's more about kind of just taking evaluation of where you and your character are as a player, right? And what might kind of just help push you along to further heights.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear Revelator 2 for PC and Steam, and also console, Anatis.
Yeah, it's true. And we have Kodro, a Disney player.
Oh, with the festive colors.
Yeah.
Nice block on the low. I don't block those. Ooh, he gets opened up high. All right, ooh, a little bit. I like the YRC. Might have been a little
Yeah.
bit of a mash, like they said, but you know what? A YRC in that situation kind of gives you that time to slow down and think about. So, when you're newer, look, there's lots of options to do with your meter, and if you're not doing anything with it, that's bad. At some point.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I really like that Salsa Grandma seems to have a pretty good fundamental understanding of. Whoa, that
Oh,
was a triangle dash.
yep.
Nice. Okay, I was gonna say Salsa Grandma seems to have their fundamentals like drilled at least a little bit. Getting the knockdown into note, and then
Yeah,
just running in with the dash mix up.
nice block. It was a 2P, so it was a bit of a mid.
Yeah.
So no real
that's
mix-up,
true.
unfortunately. I think mix-up might come from just kind of like whiffing the high, and then they're like, oh, they like missed the block or whatever. But I've heard that second JD is unblockable online, and I have reason to believe it.
Yeah, it's definitely very hard.
Ooh, yeah, and Saucy Grandma just running that pressure. Yeah, definitely showing they put some time in.
Yeah, definitely. It's clear that they've, while they may be beginner, they've definitely like put some time, some hours in the lab before they showed up today.
All right, so for this, then I'm gonna focus on Cujo here. Oh, what? Okay. So the thing about Dizzy and
Ooh,
Eno
okay.
is that they're both really similar set play heavy characters, Cujo. And so the real goal is to, I'm sure you know this, get your knockdown, right, and then run your Oki game. So for Dizzy, she's got a lot of projectiles that she can summon and then like run her mix to keep it safe. So like you won't have to like run up and get thrown, right? You don't have to worry about mistiming your meaty. And that is also one thing is that Eno has a very fast wake up time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really about making your game plan to be what sexy grandma or sexy grandma, saucy grandma is out here doing. Ooh, and
I like the challenge on the 2S there.
yeah, yeah. Just summon a little bit, try to block out those projectiles. Dizzy can win the summon war at full screen versus Eno if she gets if she does the right things. A novice here would know a bit more about that. Ooh, nice fire pillar. And Ice Pillar and Fire Pillar are good for stopping out forward momentum.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, good challenge.
Good blitz there.
Still have a chance. Oh, but gets tossed into the corner.
I like the direction that Kojo is going on defense a lot in this matchup.
Yeah.
Seems very patient and willing to both hold stuff as well as challenge it at ranges that they feel comfortable doing so, using 2S to anti-air in situations where they see the opportunity, as well as make sure they're contesting those re-air dashes with far slash at the right ranges.
And that's definitely something you want to be able to do, is not let Eno just get her turn for free back on you. Yeah. Otherwise, stuff like that happens. And it's very hard to say, okay, hit a button. You want to hit a button there, but ideally.
Yeah, I think one thing that would definitely help Kojo here would be to find some way to consistently get a combo into that ice spike, because they're consistently getting hits with the close slash far slash, and then kind of going into like a frame trap ice spike or fun player situation.
Yeah, so what I've noticed about Kojo and what they're trying to do with their game plan right now is that they have grown accustomed to using Ice Spike and Fire Pillar to stop their opponent's forward momentum more. And so it's not working out as well versus this triangle dashing all the time, right? So they're kind of waiting for their chance to see, oh, okay, I can throw that out there, and Eno's kind of above that trajectory by the time. Good blocks. I would say versus, when you're having to choose between high and low, it's, I've died to just eating the lows, but I still feel like okay about my block choices.
Yeah.
Because then you eat that JD right there, and that's like all your life.
Yeah, Salsa Grandma clearly has put in some time to get those combos under their belt, but
one thing I think would do Kudro, this is my best piece of advice to give right now, is learn to go from your knockdown into summon, and kind of just start running a mix up after that, even if it's very basic.
Yeah. Like, you don't need to find all of the resources and make sure you have all the combos yet down for sure, but finding a way to consistently get something after your ice spike and or 6H
So
knockdowns.
I'm not sure on Dizzy resources, but no. So fishes like the ice fish, which bites, or lasers can be used to control space or put like a hitbox out there for when the opponent wakes up to keep yourself safe on. So Anodis here is a very experienced Dizzy player, and they might know some of the maybe there's some guides or something, but definitely just some basic advice to be given from them on Dizzy play if you have any questions.
Yeah, no, it's great that we have a notice in the chat for that reason. So
And
definitely take advantage of that resource, Coach.
and after everyone gets these matches out, of course, feel free to play or just go ahead and play on the cabs if anyone wants to play you. For now, go ahead and just get those games in.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure, just to give you like something really basic to apply right now, I'm pretty sure if you get either after your far slash, you get a heavy slash or a 2D, and then ice spike, it will connect and let you get that knockdown you're going for.
Yeah, and go ahead and if well, of course you're in the Rev2 Discord. If you're not in the Dizzy specific Discord, there are links and resources for the character Discords. And as Anonymous is saying, they love to help people for the most part out there. So
yeah. Okay, so we're having abstracting American.
Also, I wanted to say you hit the blitz. Hell yeah. You know how? Look, when you hit that blitz, I struggle to hit that blitz still. That's what I mean. On wake up, that's a 2-frame window.
Yeah, it's not trivial. Ooh, nice patience.
And Comerican was the runner-up, I believe, from last month's beginner tournament. So I'm expecting that everyone will have a bit more trouble with him this month.
Yeah. Comerican definitely already put it on the table and did pretty well.
And, I'm just saying, if we had that tournament, you could have gotten Comerican out of the running for next one. But now, next month, he's still able to if he wants to.
Oh, that's true. We'll have 3 months of Comerican beginner tournament experience. Ooh, goes for the RSC to get more damage.
Shout outs to Abstract for showing up to test their connection right before. Okay, so Leo. There is an anti-Leo guide. It's like a 3-parter in resources. And even if you don't really get it, I suggest skimming through parts of it so you kind of get an idea of what the Leos are actually trying to do more. And don't overload yourself, right? It's just that, how do I put it? Leo is a character that people want to say, oh, they're easy, whatever. The reason that comes about is that Leo's offense is so good inherently that the defender is forced to spend more brain power on it than the initiator. Be that whatever, take whatever you want to mean from that, right? Like, it definitely means one thing, but people want to make it mean another.
Yeah. I mean, he is a character that requires like a bit of a knowledge check in a couple of like major departments in order to block him properly. And since he can take that initiative, especially like in beginner versus beginner scenarios, it can be pretty oppressive if you're not going to put the time into. If you're not, or you haven't yet put the time into specifically learning against him.
I like Abstract's playing the neutral here. You want to run that Axel game. Most characters, Axel doesn't want to be right up in their face, especially Leo.
Yeah.
Now,
he likes about this range right here.
Yeah. One thing I would note about Axel in this matchup is that I imagine that there it is, the DP. The DP is going to put in a lot of work.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of times where, like, right after an option, you know that Leo isn't going to be ready for Bin 10.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Just throw out those DPs. All right, a lot of meter to work with here for Comerican, but it's going to get hit out by the unblockable. No, it's not unblockable yet.
Yeah, that is the main fear of that stance.
So sometimes I forget the name of that one because I think of it as Die Renson, and I forget the real name because in the code Sparrowhawk, yeah. Stance. Or God, what's the Japanese name? Anyway.
Oh, that would have been a sick confirm.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, good block on the high. Ooh, but mashes on
it's caught by the counter, yeah.
The parry. Oh, and so for Abstract right there, they have not bit on the parry attempt at all. But I keep wanting to hit the throw. Like, throw that shield. You see that shield and you're right there, you made that right call, toss him.
Toss him. Get him out of here.
Now, I do believe that Renson into the follow-up will cancel out the H projectile, maybe? It's enough hits.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, actually.
Maybe.
Like, don't quote me on that one. Hey, thanks for the follow.
It's definitely worth trying, for sure. Oh.
Schnittwagen? Nice.
Taking a moment. Okay, we're here.
Ooh, and
man.
the RA almost connects. Big Boom it's 4 hits.
Oh no! Was that
and another follow from Trench Raider. Thanks. Here we go. Ooh, getting that knockdown. What was that?
I wasn't sure what caught on the parry. It looked like maybe Abstract was going for a Ben 10.
Ooh, and almost FD.
Kill. Yeah.
Oh, and doesn't spend the burst.
Ah,
And another follow from Contra. Wow, thank you all. I wasn't expecting 3 in a row there.
Oh, nice. Appreciated.
Abstract, go ahead and get those games in if you want. It's not over yet unless you want it to be. You know, honestly, not a bad understanding, I think, of the game there from Abstract of what they want to do. There are certain things you want to get those, start special canceling more into Renson. Like, leveling up Renson YRC for pressure and Oki becomes a really strong thing once Axel is able to get that momentum going. It's kind of one of his only things that he has out there. Yeah, Renson's 3, but the follow-up is what I was asking about. Because if you Renson and follow-up, I'm not sure. Or if Renson goes through... You know, I have a easy way to just get myself hit in the face here with a Big Boom.
That's saucy. Okay,
Lobby is
so
filled to the brim. We will have to make room.
We will. Let's do Roth and then Plague Doc Sky if you're around. I don't know. Their name isn't the same on Challenge as it is on the Discord.
Gotcha.
But also we can have Saucy Grandma and Sona play as well. And then after that, we'll be done with the formal sets, and we can just kind of have whoever on the cab. Oh, so Roth needs to get in, is not able to. So yeah, for now we're gonna have. I think I'm gonna go ahead and have Abstract and Comerican head out, and then we can invite them back in after we get Roth and Plague in.
Yeah, it looks like the 3 hits don't even work sometimes. That's interesting.
Okay. But yeah, you guys will be welcome to come back into the lobby after we get these games in.
Yeah, we're here for you.
Yes.
Shout outs to all 14 of you out there watching. If you are with us and you are a newer Guilty Gear player and you are not involved in the festivities, I encourage you to join the Rev2 General Discord. We have lots of resources for new players, and even if you don't like it there, we can direct you to somewhere better. That's one of the joys of picking a character in this game, is that we managed to scrabble together 25 Discords, one for each of them, with people crazy enough to help and put together resources for all of them.
Yep. And I haven't been to all of them, but I've been a contributor on the Zato Discord and asked lots of questions on both the Raven and Elfelt ones. So
Yo, Vector,
I can say from experience that it's very good. It's very good to contact those people and get some specialized help. Pazoo says play Venom. This is a good idea.
You are all smart people when you choose to play Guilty Gear Rev 2, so you should definitely just play Venom, because Venom is for smart people.
It's true. Venom is for smart people, and also people who like pool, billiards.
I mean, Venom is, hands down one of the coolest characters in Guilty Gear, right? Like, he's playing with a billiards pool.
Yeah, I don't even think it's an argument. Venom is just so cool. Venom is just so cool.
He sets balls and hits them at you like he's playing pool. Like, if you like chip damage, that is your character. Also, we also have a character named Chip. If you like chip damage of another sort. I'm sorry.
Alright, still waiting on Plague. We can go ahead and have Roth play Sona while we're waiting.
Yeah, let's do that.
If you guys want to play. I'll add him. It looks
Get
like
those
Sona.
games on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm always
My
happy
system in the
to
lobby
see
as well.
Roth out here putting work. Been helping me some. Oh, yo, Vector is Plague. All right. We have contact. So we
Sweet.
were gonna have you play in here, Plague, but we'll have you after this set now.
Yeah. Gonna close stream? Sick. Okay.
Gotcha.
No rush.
So, shout out to Roth. One thing I learned about Roth is that not only is how to put it, Rev 2 is their first fighting game, and then they picked Jacko, and so it made me and I realized, like, even though Jacko is supposedly supposed to be easier, like, I would never wish Jacko upon not only a new player to, like, I wouldn't wish upon a new player to Rev 2, let alone a new player to fighting games.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of ground to be learned to start being good with her.
Definitely. There's a lot of, like, particular things to Jacko that other characters don't necessarily have to contend with. As well as, like, there's a couple of things to Jacko's, like, win condition that I would say are kind of counterintuitive to a new player.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they just move the difficulty to somewhere else, right? Ooh, a little bit of slowdown here. Ooh, rough.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're necessarily getting all the frames.
Yeah, this is rough. Plague, if you are there, are you, maybe not getting all the frames there. Abstract, thank you for the follow. Good to have you out here. Now, was Plague, let me go read up here. Hold on.
In the meantime, I'll commentate the match. It looks like we're having a bit of a frame delay.
So I think the issue here is So I think the issue here is Plague might not be running the game at full operation.
Yeah, I think.
Let's go ahead and call it. This is a bit. This is.
Yeah.
I'll let you do it.
Yeah, we need some tech support.
All right, so we will go ahead and call that match for now. Plague, if you can head to the Discord for some help. We're gonna try to help you get your. I think your game might not be running at the correct frames.
Yeah, I don't think that's an internet connection issue. I think that's frames. Also, Yankee and the Brave is helping out.
Okay.
Okay. What is the thing? Hold on. Yankee and the Brave is also not on the Discord with that name, so I can't contact them.
Any good Dizzy combo videos? That's a good question.
Vector is the Yankee and the Brave. Okay.
Okay. So, Bash, I had a question here.
Yeah.
This lobby is for Midwest and East Coast, like the tourney was for. The thing here is, once we open up the lobby, as long as you have a good connection, is the issue.
Yeah, I think it was. I think in the case of Sona, it wasn't a issue of the connection. It was an issue of the frames, for sure. It looked like the game wasn't running at all cylinders.
Yeah. So, Plague, we're gonna go ahead and ask you to get that sorted out first. If you could just move
That's
off
not,
to the
that
side.
wasn't Plague. That was Sona.
Oh,
Plague is joining now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought Sona was Plague. See, this is the power of having the same name.
Yeah. But it's okay. Go ahead and have it. It took a hit. Okay. So Sona clearly does have some FPS issues.
Are they Sona in the Discord?
I think so.
Oh yeah,
usually in
they
Japan
are.
it's fine. So shrug. Okay.
Have you tried running the? I mean, make sure. All right. I'm just gonna ask him in Discord.
Yeah. Well, Sona will contact you on Discord to troubleshoot the frame issue. I've had friends with similar issues before. Yeah. Okay. So you're contacting them now. In that case, Plague, when you get in here, we can go and have you and Roth play while we're troubleshooting Sona's connection.
Yeah, Cujo, there are some really good video resources I recommend. Also, we have this really nice welcome command we could hit you with that kind of hits you with some resources. But Nodus is very correct in saying don't burn yourself out trying to learn too fast, because you can only cram so much into a container of any size before it breaks, right? So
Yeah, definitely. Oh, like the biggest secret to learning this game or any like complex game like this is to
I figured out such a good
is to take
metaphor.
breaks. Is to take breaks. Chunk it. Chunk it.
All right, I figured out such a good metaphor. Now, a lot of you probably don't do any gardening or anything involved with plants, but when you grow a plant in a pot, since there's only so much dirt, there's only so much room for water and your roots to grow. But the thing is happening is that you are growing up, right? So you are the plant. But as time, the water, that's your knowledge learning. That's your learning. That's what's feeding you. You can only put so much in the pot at any point in time. You got to grow first.
Oh.
All right, yo, Saucy Grandma, thank you for the follow. Good to have you out here. I got to remember that one. I like that one. Because I definitely feel like you can only learn so much at a time, or even retain so much at a time. They call it the mental stack.
Yeah.
All right, hopefully,
Okay, so we're gonna go back into Roth and Sona and see if we can, if the connection is or the situation is better now. Sona also requested for us to play on Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
this looks a lot better.
All right, yeah. Could just be one of those things.
Yeah. Still doesn't look perfect, but it's better.
Yeah. Yeah, still a little bit slow, but ooh, nice FD break. But the house is gone.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, gotta watch out for that slide.
It looks like we might be dropping from 60 to like 58 or 59 occasionally instead of like 53 it was before.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still a bit rough. Sona
Yeah.
might be helped out by Potato, not I.
Yeah, definitely we can direct them to that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say to call it.
Oh, okay. Dark Angel!
Unless, I mean, you know, it looks like they're playing fine, but still, it's kind of, this is rough. No, thank you for the Dark Angel. It's no worse than just playing Coast to Coast, right? No. No, definitely there are the flames gone. Uh-oh. 100-meter. No! I think Roth tried to super.
Yeah, that did look like a Calvados startup. Okay, so they're gonna play it out for now.
It looks like Sona. Yeah, let's just return to room.
Oh.
They're saying
Yeah,
they're typing.
Sona's not here. Oh no. Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on because I would like to sort that out a bit elsewhere. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so we can have Sona working on that in the background, and then hopefully get them back in by the end of the night.
Yeah, definitely. Plague, sorry, I thought you were someone else. Four teleports, not just one. 4 teleports. Also, he's got he's got a special that's not really a teleport, but it might as well be because it sends him flying across the screen.
Yeah. Also, he has the best teleport, which is no teleport. He just teleports and he's back where he was before.
Yeah.
That's the best teleport, in my opinion. I love that. Okay, so let's go ahead and have Roth play Plague 5. In that case.
Okay. 2DP teleport 2D will catch your match no matter how big the guy. Yeah. Oh, he's just standing there. Surely I can. Nope.
Soft, I just noticed giving us the medical explanation. Rest is when your brain actually commits things to memory, develops new synapses. So taking breaks is as important as trying to learn. This is very true. I actually also have studied this in university, and that is 1000% factual and really important.
I have too.
Your brain will actually not like chemically learn stuff until you sleep. So
that's why the best time to study is before you sleep.
Yeah.
Or take a nap. Study real hard, like take a nap, and then you'll wake up and you're like, yeah, I'm a genius.
Yeah, and if you like don't sleep because you're studying, I got some bad news.
All right, so one time for this statistics test that I had like not studied for at all, and it was like it's like morning and I've got it in like 4 hours or something. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like I'm worried. I study the fuck, I drink this cup of coffee, I get really tired, I nap for like 30 minutes, I wake up and I just go ace the test. And then I don't remember shit about afterwards, but I was like, yeah, I did it.
in that moment.
Yeah.
Everything connected.
The power of coffee and nap. Stylish. All right. We'll take it.
It actually might be worth talking about after this set, like what stylish means and like what the pros and cons of it are.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll let him rock. I like that Plague is very willing to just kind of like play it very safe.
I do believe Plague just got the game, so it's not a matter. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. Plague was the one that hadn't played it yet, right?
Yeah. So thanks for joining and just taking the time to kind of come see what the game's all about.
Oh, Roth picking early. It's gonna get swapped on. Concho time.
Now, one thing, Roth. Okay, you super me, I'll super you back. Here we go. That's a lot of damage too. Stylish does take more damage.
Yeah, that is one of the big cons of Stylish, is that you will eat more damage.
Yeah. I think it's good for like a little bit if you haven't touched the game or even fighting games, so you can kind of get a sense of, like, because it will teach you some things. And there are some stylish combos that you can go over and do like immediately normally. Or in stylish, rather. Alright, good checks. Oh, try to summon in his face, though. Yeah, you want to get that knockdown before you summon.
Definitely.
And Roth really not taking the chance to summon a lot of houses here. Maybe doesn't really want to overrun him. Let's say, I'll practice some other things here. But it's honestly not a bad option here. One thing about playing beginners of any level is that as long as the person is willing to play you and try to learn, you should be willing to learn also. Because there's things you can practice or things you can do that you're not really allowed to do at other times versus other people.
Yeah, go for the hard combo.
Go for the hard combo. Wait. See, what button beats out this button at this range. Maybe you didn't know before.
Yeah. I mean, with a game this complex, like, we're all learning at all skill levels, so...
Yeah, Renho, I've been learning hiragana, and I'm only like 20 or 25 in, but I've got some flashcards my girlfriend made for me. And I'm kind of going at it slow, but I sit there and just look at them, and it helps.
I need to do that with hiragana again. I took Japanese 1 in uni, but unfortunately I failed out of Japanese 2 due to some personal issues. But it's a really fun language to learn.
Well, as I'm sure I've talked about before, I'm biracial, and then also I grew up really heavily on my Japanese side, so it's kind of just a life goal of mine, just to at least learn how to read it and speak it, like, by the time I'm gone.
That's good, yeah. Connect with that side of the family more.
Well, because my grandmother never taught her children the language. She wanted to, whatever. And it's like, I wish you had. I would have learned that shit.
Yeah.
And this is one thing about Faust, is that Faust can just sit there and hit those long range normals and stop you from going forward, right?
Yeah.
And this is in turn good practice for Roth, because he needs to learn to, forward movement can be stopped with FD break, or just not move forward if the opponent's trying to play like that.
Yeah, like the end of the day with Jacko in particular, like if the opponent is playing slow, Jacko wins.
Yeah.
Right?
She wins by drawing out the clock, as long as she can get those houses out. And Roth kind of here to start. What do you do about this pressure?
Nice pressure?
Yeah. And Roth has had some nice 6Ps.
Yeah.
Kind of just checking him at that slide range.
Okay. Good block on the jump in.
Alright, get that punish. Oh, goes for the command grab. Alright, homie's coming in.
Not quite able to make the connect, but still threatening space.
You know what's one thing? I've close slash. Everyone's close slash is such a good button, and it's really cool that it's gated by proximity in a way. Like, if you think about it, like if everyone was able to use close slash like Elfelt does, right? Where like they were as confident about getting it out there.
That's true. I mean, I think with Alpha, part of it is just like, it's proximity, but if you get far slash as Alpha, oh well, I got far slash, like, that button is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about how much kanji I'd learn Kazoo, but I at least want to learn the 3 basic ones. Or the 2 basic ones, rather. Katakana and Hiragana.
Oh, big Faust!
Ooh, good conversion.
I mean, this is
knockdown.
Like Plague's first time playing the game, so they probably definitely don't know this, but
yeah,
the houses are staying alive for a while and cooking up some delicious minions.
Now, one thing
is the reversal
is
out,
that
though.
Faust can just kind of deal with those houses with. Oh, but hit by killed by his own reversal.
Yeah, Roth realized that Plague wasn't moving the baby around at all.
Yeah, he doesn't know yet. Yep, there's my chance.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Plague, if you're listening or listen later, you can move the special around.
Yep. I think they did the first time. They must have neglected to do so that time.
Roth going for that side switch, but Plague takes out the house.
I like Plague's instincts here to like
6P.
Yeah. Well, they're clearly like being thoughtful about realizing this button contests this space, and I should use it here.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this is a bit faster. This is a bit slower. Ooh, good air throw.
Yeah. It's cool to see that happen.
And
over
Ross
the course
saying,
of the set.
"Thanks for joining. I'll be moving on. See you next time, Space Cowboy. See you next time, Stylish Cowboy."
All right. Well, that's all the ones we had for like our structured time, so we can kind of just like have whoever play.
Okay. Should we remake? Well, I guess we have rematch room. We could do a remake and have it set it to King of the Hill.
Yeah. Sorry, American got back in here just in time.
Just
for me
in
to be like,
time.
nope. Alright, we'll set it to winner stays and then probably do it. So if the full rotation of the players goes through and the winner is still the same, then we can switch them off manually.
Yeah. And I would recommend, well, I guess it depends up to them how many they go deep on a cab. But if we have too many, I would recommend having a couple on a side setup and then just kind of rotating in and out. But
yeah.
Devious lick.
Oh, American already closed the lobby for me. Appreciated.
Dang.
They knew. Come on, Batch. Close your lobbies.
They knew that you wouldn't. No.
I've never forgotten to close my lobby. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not even once.
It's never happened.
I
Not even
definitely
once.
have never once either.
Definitely. Never once. Okay, so yeah, this one we're just gonna have winner stays and just go through the rotation. Yeah, like Adapt said, we're welcome to have the line be as long as you guys want it to be, but also, like, you know, if you're getting impatient, you want to get your games in, definitely understandable. Hop onto one of the other cabs, and then we'll rotate out the people who we're watching on stream. We've got a newcomer.
I need a new scoreboard thing. I think there's one that people use. I think the one that Play Guilty Gear uses is like a website, actually.
Ooh, that could be nice.
I'll have to ask Star Sky, or I almost said Star Sky as a joke, but Starsky about it.
I actually thought it was Star Sky. It's like, oh, it's just the two words back to back. It's got to be Star Sky.
Right? Like, there's no reason to ever read it like Starsky.
I like it though. It sounds better as Starsky.
It does, I think.
Okay. If this had been a tournament tonight, this could very well have been our grand finals, by the way.
I think, is it American versus... Yeah, it could very well have been. Saucy was showing, you know, I know how to do Eno things.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit!
And I know American has a Faust and a Leo. Maybe he's more? Whoa, that's so much damage.
Oh, GG.
The Hellfire. The Hellfire. And
Nice.
RC's before the item comes out, but doesn't matter. Okay, Kojiro, so Hellfire is Guilty Gear's comeback mechanic in that if you are, what's the percentage? 20? 10?
It's 20. It's
20.
20.
When you are under 20% health, your supers gain 10% increased damage, I believe.
Yes. Also, some of them gain unique mechanics as well. Like, for example, Soul's Dragon install goes on for longer.
Yes. I think that's kind of the only one. Maybe not, anyway. Oh, no.
think
Soul's Dragon
some,
install, Faust's item special will either always, like, even if you pick Angel, it'll always do damage, or it has a super high chance. I think it's, like, pretty much will always default to it.
Lady Faust.
Unsure about Chroming Rose.
I think some supers that don't have invuln gain invuln, but it might be... No, I think that's if you burst super, though.
Yeah, only Burst Super will do that.
Yeah, yeah. That mini Faust was so tragic.
That's the way of Faust. You're like, yeah, I got this, and he's just over there. It's like, it's the way Faust wins in Strive now is just random bullshit. Like, because he can just item cancel. Or not even, he just can just keep throwing items and have so many out on screen. So it's like, it's still true for Rep 2. Like, you can just win through random bullshit.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, it gets caught by the bomb.
So,
Okay, there's that 2D knockdown. Kojiro implementing that.
So, you know Nage, the Faust player, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you know why they're Nage?
No.
So Nage's philosophy is that he should always be throwing as many items as possible. And so he's Nage for throw.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's why his game plan is to have figured out the way to always be throwing as many items as possible. This is how you win.
Yeah, and if you're playing Faust, like, listen to Nage.
Yeah.
That guy is actually one of the best in the world at Guilty Gear in general.
Oh, definitely. When you can beat Omido at Evo and take that crown in Evo Japan, let me just say, when you beat Omido at Evo Japan and you take that crown, you got, you know what I mean? You're up there.
Yeah.
Always put some respect on that guy's name.
Ooh, the Blitz! Gonna get caught by Mini Faust though, yeah.
I wasn't aware of it until then, but I think there is a
Ooh,
dead
could've
zone.
gotten a pickup there.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go, using Summon to follow it in.
And Dizzy Dash!
Over the Mini Faust?
Dizzy Dash, come on! That's so privileged.
It took me a second to internalize what had happened, but yeah, Dizzy Dash just going right over the Mini Faust.
I know you were like, I bet you're like, why did Adapt just start cracking up?
She's flying. Smile. Like,
She could forward dash over weight and mini house. Can Dizzy forward dash over slide head?
yes. Sidehead is actually like kind of a dead move in the matchup.
Kojo, I'm sorry, which, let me know if it's the first one. Dizzy dash, how do I put it correctly? Maybe you got this one, Bash.
It's off the ground basically.
Yeah.
So if there's anything directly on the ground or something that targets the ground, it won't affect Dizzy as she's dashing.
It's not that it's low in vuln necessarily, even though it sort of gets some. It's like her hitbox type of thing. To be technical about it, I believe.
Yeah, it's like the way that her box works depending on like certain spacings. I don't know exactly how it works.
It's not 100%. It's just like you can do it and it happens. Like you got to time it correctly.
Yeah, and it's also like particular moves. Like I don't think it would go over something like since we're seeing Sin. I don't think it goes like under Elk Hunt or over Elk Hunt or like Faust 2H or anything. It's like very, very small, like particular things on the ground, like Slide Head and I guess Mini Faust. I've never seen it work with Mini Faust in that way.
Did you get off the cab?
Yeah, Chimerican switched off because I think it was. Yeah, because Saucy Grandma was the first person they played. So since Saucy Grandma came back up, they were like, "Oh, I've gone through the rotation."
Just get back on next.
Yeah, I think they have. They just went to the back of the line.
You gotta hit that button.
Abstract switching to Sin.
Wow, the blitz.
Okay, it's important to eat since a hungry boy. It's a good pickup off of the note.
Dizzy dash. Nice clip. I'm gonna grab oh shoot. Unplug my headphones.
Oh no.
I'm gonna grab some water. Also, why?
Ooh, nice throw. Roth heading out for now. Alright. Thanks for stopping by, Roth. Okay, opts to go for the rush. In general, Abstract having a good idea of like where to place normals to kind of challenge Saucy Grandma and prevent them from advancing. Excuse me. You have Plague stepping up on the cab. We're shredding. Oh, Yankee opting to switch. Off of Stylish as well. Trying out Slayer. Nice combo from Saucy, definitely showing they put in the time. So something that will help here for Plague is finding out how to properly implement teching out of combos. There's been a couple of times here where Saucy Grandma has been able to get resets and continue routes where Plague would have been able to get out. But you can see when the combo number changes from that orange to the black, just like that. It's called Black Beat. In those cases, it's a little bit hard to implement at first. But the best strategy is if you hold down a button and then also hold back and then mash two other buttons, your character will get out of the combo at their first available opportunity, and they'll be doing the faultless defense in the air, which will prevent them from getting recomboed. Welcome back, Adapt. I was explaining faultless defense OS for teching.
Yes. Very nice. Basically, just hit more buttons.
Just hit more buttons, but also not necessarily attacking. Though sometimes attacking is good.
I remember when I was new and I'd go look at replays with input display on, and my opponent would just be mashing the hell out of, like, why are they doing this? I'm like, that is why.
So many buttons ready to go.
Yeah, hold down.
Cujo not on the cab.
Mash those others. Oh. Getting that Eno versus Faust action. Now, is Faust Comerican's main?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a preference for them between Faust or Leo, or like what the direction of it is.
Hey, what's up, here?
Oh, Gibson.
Yo, Strobes, you went to an anime con today and saw some shit on those cab buttons. Wait, what?
Pardon?
I got demolished. What the fuck? Welcome to the Guilty Gear.
Ooh, nice moving around note.
My bad, I was looking at it.
Oh, nice challenge by Comerican, realizing that even with YRC, that was not real. You can't get back in there.
Yeah, Saucy saying, next month, watch out for me.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, nice.
Watch out for that bomb. Oh, meteors.
Meteor coming in.
Incoming. Oh, nice evasion. So, yeah, pay attention to where Faust is when he throws the meteors.
Yep.
Because you can evade them by getting to the other side. Or just controlling them. So it's not always a set pattern for meteors is what's kind of the issue, too.
Yeah. Okay, attempts to challenge the note again, but this time
that was
not able to.
So big-brained in a way, because challenging note right there and barely taking any damage from the low-level one single hit got them out of having to deal with the blocking they would have had to do, right?
Yeah, that's actually a thing people recommend to do against Eno when she throws out note in neutral like that. Oh, Comerican also forced to eat the note there.
Ooh, good blocks. Gonna take it with a throw.
Yeah, no, that's actually a way to deal with Eno. If she's throwing out notes full screen, is just say okay and then put a normal into them and get hit by it.
I don't know about full screen. That's like 5 hits by then, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but you gotta run out. Like if you like see note from full screen, just run out and far slash and just get hit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it's the hits are based on travel time. I'm pretty sure.
Is Roth in rotation?
No, Roth dipped out of the lobby while you were off getting water, I think.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh no, the bomb once again! Nice anti-air combo. Oh, hungry boy!
And the punish. Switch
Where is it? Which one?
Where to go? That is not it.
Oh, shit!
He's just a boy.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't care.
Is this what I actually saw a video recently where they subtitle all of the things they say when they get hit by it, and there are some good lines. One of Sin's is this what happens in the city? Oh no! A little bit preemptive on the 6H there. Oh, the Doctor Copter!
Yeah, not enough damage to kill though, but taking that round quick.
I've always really liked Dr. Copter. I wish it was something you could actually utilize a bit better.
Yeah, so the thing for Eno is that she doesn't even want to be near Slayer, so you want to clip him with HCL, which is really freaking good versus him. Because it just covers so much space, and he wants to, like, you know, dandy around and all that, but nope, it's just active. Stroke's real good. Because once you're up there pushing buttons versus him, yeah, that's not where you want to be in his face, unless you have a node on him. You're mixing him up.
Slayer actually gives Eno damage to run for his money.
You're not HCLing in his face.
Yeah. You're doing it from, like, round start or a little bit farther away.
Yeah, just where the 6P is not going to hit you. American running it.
Bonk.
Alright, that's Goldhammer.
Goldhammer.
One thing about Goldhammer is that, especially versus Dizzy, is that's going to put a lot more stun on.
It's going to Dizzy against Dizzy.
And Faust outputs a lot of stun damage. He has single hit. His single hit damage is, like, really high, right? He does a lot of damage off of, like, fairly short combos. His items can do inordinate amounts of stun. If he counter hits you, that's a big deal too. Like, if he gets a dust combo on you, he can, like, hit you with a bunch of level 4. You know what I mean? It's just like he kind of has all these things that add up to him being highly capable of stunning.
Yeah. You definitely have to be careful about getting counter hit by him too much, especially with the way the items work. Very meaty on the 6H there, and there's the stun again. I've seen it happen a couple of times with Kamerican on the cab, and I apologize for exposing your dark, well-kept secrets, Faust players, but if you see Faust go into the door, if you jump backwards in faultless defense, it will cover every option out of the door. So don't let them, don't let those evil Faust players mix you up with that. It is possible to avoid it entirely. Ooh, nice routing from Saucy.
Blitz can be good if he doesn't have meter. Okay, Strobes, did you explain? I'm gonna scroll up here. You made a call that I need more information on.
the shit on the cab?
Yeah. Oh, was it just dirty?
I hope you didn't mean it literally.
Oh,
like...
no. Maybe I don't need to know then.
Yeah, I'm okay not learning.
I didn't mean it literally. Okay. Blitz versus Slayer? Did someone suggest that?
Ooh, counter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, good blocks. A lot of meter to work with here. Stroke under wire C. Oh, but right into the homie.
Yep.
And yeah.
There's HCL YRC challenging that space.
So good.
Staying safe. It's very, very good.
HCL, VCL, all chemical love.
Yeah, lots of chemical loves. Will make you feel very good. Alright, Plague stepping back up onto the ring. Okay. Plague listening, trying to implement that 6P that Saucy recommended. bursts out. Oh man, gets turned around.
Ooh. And so much stun on that counter hit that, yeah. Yeah, and HCL just checking in the corner, or VCL rather. No backdash for you.
Absolutely not.
Alright, round start, she's in there. Forced to block with your face. Like, it's technically blocking, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's something in the way. It's just you. And once I get these black beats, it'll be very helpful to be able to implement a way to get out of them.
No conversion yet. A lot of meter to work with.
Oh, nice anti-air. Really
normally
good
versus
choice.
Slayer, this is where you are very terrified here with Slayer and this much meter.
Yeah, there's so much Slayer can do with that meter to
Ooh,
make you very
I
afraid.
like the patience there and just trying to avoid the projectile, you know, knowing couldn't really go in yet.
Yeah.
But ready for that.
Saucy played it as well, though. Or played it well as well.
Yeah. One thing you should never let Eno players feel good about is them air throwing you. Let me tell you that Eno has a longer range on her air throw from the rest of the cast, so I don't want to know. I don't want to hear about it.
Also, she has a really, really simple OS that she can get a lot.
She's just hitting H, fellas and ladies.
Yeah.
And everyone else.
Ooh, the JD, always very scary, but he's hungry. Yeah, has to try to eat, but Saucy's ready to punish.
Yeah, still enough calories to maybe get a DP off. Or two if they really want to, but ooh, good conversion. Almost gets a knockdown. Burst out.
Yeah.
Alright, so Sin can beak through that, I believe, if they use the tip of beak to cancel out projectile.
Oh, YRC.
Yeah, so
It's
as
gonna
long
need to eat
if they
soon.
manage to hit the projectile like with the tip, I'm pretty sure they can.
Oh, just eats in front of the super? I'm hungry. I don't care what's going on over
Close
there.
slash far. That is the beginning to enlightenment give. Close slash far slash.
Yes.
Slayer. Oh, check your low with my low. And one thing important about we should know on defense versus Sin's
Abstract
slide
using really good movement
is
here.
that if you IB it, it becomes even. And so he does not have as much of a turn after as he normally would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is good to know.
And it's also kind of an easier one to IB once you start getting used to it.
Yeah, you can
It
definitely
becomes
see
negative.
it coming.
Oh, am I thinking of Old Rev?
Possibly.
It's there.
6-8.
I think that's actually why it used to be really bad, is that it only became even.
Oh, I see.
There we go. Elk Hunt, 0, -4.
Oh, is it 0 by default?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me out here misinforming them, making them respect Sin more. You know, this is why I honestly do try to fact check a lot of the time, but it's like, ugh. But you know what?
Yeah.
There's always someone out there who's gonna check for you.
Absolutely. That's why we appreciate the chat. All right, it's a knockdown. Ooh, nice challenge by Kutro.
Yeah, and I believe that can lead into Ice Spike also.
Yes. I think if Dizzy hits you, it can go into Ice Spike pretty much.
Yeah.
As long as it's not, as long as she's not airborne.
She can route for the necessary range.
Yeah.
Except
I think
like max
Kutro's
range
taking the
shooting.
initiative in some pretty good spots, which has benefit a lot from checking out those resources that Anonymous has shared to like get specific routing, but like their general knowledge of like when to press and how is pretty strong.
Yeah. I mean, if any, how would I put this? I think this is exactly the level of strength that Kudro should be fighting right now in a way.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, okay. Because this is a level you should aim for at the moment.
Yeah.
I can tell you
definitely
right
agree.
now that Saucy Grandma is on the verge. I don't know them enough to say whether, this is true or not. Just saying this is where you start getting kind of into the light blue. It can be a kind of climb from the top level of / beginner to what you might consider intermediate. But this is what I say when it only takes it doesn't take as long as you think to reach competency, right?
Yeah.
And this is what competency starts to look like. My defense isn't as solid from playing Grand Blue versus. Yeah, Kudro, trust, you're approaching the game very well.
Yeah.
Ooh, spends a PRC, gets that throw. Oh, but dashes right through into her loving arms. And Saucy Grandma bringing out the
Saucy
ladle.
Grandma has those.
Yo, Grandma says, eat up. You hungry? You don't eat enough. You don't eat enough. You need some more.
What's for breakfast? What's for breakfast?
What's your
It's
mom
notes.
feed? Do they feed you anything?
Do they feed you anything? Here's some notes. Ooh, nice.
Grandma always giving you those hugs you don't want, but just accept them. Later on in life, you'll be happy you got those grandma hugs.
Definitely, definitely.
Oh, but you might not be happy about Papa Leo over here.
Grandma letting you know that, hey, I'm gonna give you this hug to let you know that, hey, you can't wreck on block there.
Ooh,
you know what? A Ross back in.
Saucy Grandma, can I please learn how to toss that as well as you do?
Yeah, seriously? That's aspirational.
She wants it. She might get it. Nope.
Oh, nice.
Almost. So if that note, she went in a bit too hard.
I see.
Kind of lost the advantage from note by dashing in on top of it.
Yeah. Okay. Saucy is just on the fringe of having those loops consistent.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
That's when you're like, uh-oh. I should probably start respecting when I'm dealing with the neutral a bit more.
Yeah.
Because if you don't finish your combos, the opponent becomes much more willing to get hit.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, the triangle dash over for the empty low? Jeez. Jeez. Yeah, I would say that the only thing that's really beginner about Saucy Grandma still is character knowledge in some situations, though they seem to have Leia very well understood, as well as their approach to neutral. They clearly have very strong, fundamentals.
Yeah. Oh no. Is that it for
Oh, they're
today?
kicking? Alright. Thank you for coming out. It was nice to see your Eno.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe they think you're saying get out.
No, I'm not saying get out. I am just providing feedback to them because I think we've been providing feedback to their opponents for a while now.
Yeah, okay, yeah, true. So there's a certain progression level I like to talk about in what color rank means to me necessarily, rather than what you get. So beginner is generally viewed as light blue through light green, with light green being debatable, right? And the reason it's still viewed as beginner level up by then is you've reached competency level with your character. You're just kind of starting to learn all the matchups now, right? And so that's where I start feeling that when you break into yellow, it's learning to be consistent with your character in other matchups, in all the matchups.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of light blue players I've seen struggle to just even get into green, also because of that, where they hit all their combos. I have some really clear memories of people I wish had kept playing, where it's just for whatever reason, they would be at light blue, and I don't understand it, right? So there's definitely more to the equation than just hitting all your combos. So,
Yeah,
but it's a big part of the equation also.
the color rankings are not perfect, and there's a lot of like hidden factors to it as well, based on like who you're playing against and like how your win losses with the room.
So the colors are whatever, right? This is what they mean to me, right? So it's like when you start hitting yellow consistently, it means you've mastered your character, you mastered the fundamentals of the game, and you're just kind of solidifying it all out, especially in the matchup, right? And so when you get to orange, you really just kind of you hit all your combos for the most part. You know all the matchups. Like, you're going for more level 2 stuff, and to maintain pink is like you're kind of just dialed in a lot, right? You don't drop. You're always doing the correct thing for Oki or reacting to the situation. Like, it's just become more second habit. It's not really about your decisions because you've been making those decisions for a long time. It's just you're doing it all like perfectly now. And Sid needs to eat.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot of it has to do with like what you're thinking about while you play.
Yeah, definitely.
The better you get at a game like Gear, the less you're thinking about like abstract things, and the more you're thinking about like, I guess a better way to explain it is if you're running Oki as someone who's newer to the game, you're thinking about each button in order and like what they do and how the combo works. Whereas someone who is pink or more experienced with the game just thinks, okay, now to run Oki A, and then it just goes.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's definitely just, it's all the process. The plant and the tree sleeping, right, growing.
Yeah.
Like you learn thing A, and then once that becomes ingrained, you go on to learn thing B. So as far as color ranking goes, especially online, like it's not infallible by any means. You can go up or down, like no matter how good you are. Like I've seen Demendo, who the person who I consider like the best player in the U.S., regularly just rock yellow because the things they're trying to do and play for aren't winning or necessarily the same, right? Win or lose is just part of the process.
I feel like Demendo is definitely a player who's willing to do something new, like every time they play the game as well.
Oh yeah, like I cannot put into words what fighting Demendo is like beyond just like you really learn that you didn't know anything about the game because he's thinking in abstract levels, right? Like he's doing something you're not even ready for, or like you didn't even know he was thinking about that situation or that you were gonna play like that.
Yeah. He's definitely one of my favorite players to watch.
Day is
for that
powerful
reason.
masher.
Yeah.
Alright, good control of space here. Alright, and one thing Yankee could be doing here is just tossing more items in neutral right now. When you've got that spacing, and if you're kind of uncomfortable with it, you could item YRC. If you're worried about it.
I mean, the same is true for Kudro, and Kudro is beginning to take the initiative a bit more
now,
the dust! Recognizing that.
Don't burst. All right, the clock's ticking. And Dizzy not going to be able to do enough damage here without,
Yeah, definitely not. But I like that Kudro also beginning to recognize throughout as that match went on, like, wait a second, I could probably be putting my dagger out now. I'm beginning to challenge with that as Yankee's giving them space to do so. Okay, running in with the ice dagger, nice. It's a little bit greedy with the summon, though. It's important to make sure you have an advantage before you summon.
Listen, Comerican with Ino, no, I'm not even, like, salting the wound here. No one, even when you know what to do with Ino, I've watched Ino players fight each other, they don't know what to fucking do with Ino. She's so strong on her Oki, that's just part of the thing. It's like, and, you'll learn. I think, personally, like, not knowing what to do versus Ino is almost better than knowing what to do versus her. Because you're more willing to make chances that, like, will get you out.
I remember playing as an Ino in bracket, like when I was relatively new to the game still, having a really hard time. And then the next month, I got matched against the same Ino in losers.
Yeah.
And I told myself, as I was happening, as it was like, tournament was on the line, right? I am not going to block. And I did better. I'm just not going to block. If it's Oki, I'm pressing 5B.
I actually had this revelation in a tournament the same way, where I lost to Ino in winners, and then I fought him again later on, and my realization was this: I should not block at all. And it
Yep.
it wasn't about mashing. It was more so like, I'm not going to be put into a situation where I'm ever forced to deal with her.
Yeah. And that's not to say like it's hopeless if you do get in a situation where you're blocking Eno. It's just that her mix-up is so strong that if it's being run properly on you, it's like pretty much just a coin flip.
Yeah.
And you really don't want to be put in that situation.
It's kind of like
It's also like 8 coin flips in a row. Like it's not just one thing that you have to deal with.
It's kind of like going from, having all these options, and then you run in like you're Harry Houdini.
Ooh, nice.
And you're like, all right, I'm gonna bind myself up, and I'm gonna show you this trick that's let me gonna get out of these chains and defeat you. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, man. That seems kind of difficult. IB stroke mass XPH. I aim to IB stroke. That is a low, and that's really hard to IB correctly on the hitbox. It's not, but it is if you try to hit both buttons at once.
Round start 3H. Ross announcing their intentions.
Oh, no. I bet the Dizzy... no, actually. If the stereotypical Dizzy thing would be to round start air dash backwards, air dash forwards, JK.
Yep.
That is yes, IED back forward. The
Danger
meme.
time.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
the 6H from downtown.
I believe it was Vevian. I'm just correct me right if I'm wrong. Vevian playing plus R does posts a meme like, I can't believe they allowed this to happen. Like round start, IED back, IED forward, JK versus ABBA, and gets like dizzied and IK'd for the punish. and they're like, yeah, what did you expect was gonna happen? Everyone replying is just like, you did the most dizzy thing ever to ABBA and died for it. Like,
ooh, that was cool.
round start kill me. I can run first to 100. I want to be able to do that again. We encourage grind and getting those games out, and shout outs to American for being on that grind.
Yeah, definitely.
This is what I talked about. You get on that grind, you get good. You get better than you think you would. And you know what? It's important to encourage the people around you to play also, right? Because these are going to be the people that you're going to fight and learn together with to challenge the gods. What the gods are to you, right? So,
ooh, nice.
Good conversion. Oh, and the tech ready for it with the air to air.
Nice.
Oh, when the challenge on the dust. All right, one level 2 house out there, kind of obscured for me, but would like to see a little bit more. Oh, tries to keep it first.
The P house. Yeah, it's the P house.
Yeah. Night homie. Okay. And you didn't. Roth, I think, getting a little bit nervous here when they're winning. Don't want to let, stick to the plan. This is one thing, a lot of people will die for, is trying to win. And this was a hard one to get for me to kind of learn to accept for a bit. Because I had this match versus someone strong, and I was running the game, and I made a mistake. And when you make the mistake, you start trying to win. And what that means is you stop thinking about the matchup, you stop thinking about the right thing to do, you start trying to go in and get that hit. And that's when things go wrong.
When the objective becomes, I need to win, you're in danger.
Yeah, because it's really easy as the opponent to recognize that they're in that situation. All right, this is how they're going to play now, right? If I go in this situation, they're going to hit a button here thinking I'm running in. So I can FD break like Roth just did and get that whiff punish.
Yep.
You're going to tell me that's a beginner move? This is what I talk about, right? Anyway, this is what I think is important to see. Is like, you can be a beginner and be doing really, really amazing things.
Definitely. Yeah,
And
it's about getting like the whole package there. Bring out the Raven.
Raven can be a difficult one to deal with, especially for Jacko.
Yeah. Jacko wants to not be hit as much as possible, and Raven very much good at hitting.
Oh, and that 6H just a little bit too late to catch out that glide. And that would be a fatty counter hit if Roth had hit it fast enough, too. However, 6P is a bit more reliable.
Yeah.
Unless you're ready. Ooh, the good anti-air. Almost had the pickup.
I like Roth's choice to bring out the Aegis field to deal with Pin there.
Yeah, but a little bit too late. And oh, gets the gold burst. This is good, but really wants to set some houses now.
Yeah.
Get that knockdown. Take him to the corner.
Oh, I think that was a misinput. Unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate. That looked like house set, but the wrong button.
Yeah.
And American with a lot of meter here. Right, getting a little bit mashy. Got the 2D scratch, but a little bit too late to get the. Even if it would have worked because she's a light, but it still didn't hit. Anyway, a lot of damage.
Quite able to kill with it, but it was a good idea.
Ooh, this is big.
Ooh, nice counter hit.
Finish your food.
Not quite. And I was gonna get thrown for it. That's gotta be frustrating.
Yeah.
Hopefully Roth doesn't let it get to them. I think something that could help Roth out is relying on the homies a bit more to carry the game plan for them.
Yeah, I think this is kind of thing I was kind of seeing earlier too, is that Roth isn't. This is kind of strange actually, because Roth used to set a lot more, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I think this is recent that Roth isn't summoning as much.
So now she can't summon in neutral necessarily, right? She's got to Aegis or get her chance. But there we go. Take that knockdown, put the house down.
Yeah.
And just kind of a little bit of struggle here, getting a little bit scramby, and yeah, unfortunate.
I'm just gonna get caught by Pen.
So Raven versus Jacko is incredibly frustrating for Jacko if Raven plays correct, right? Needle zooms through everything, slows her down. 2H scratch go through all the houses. His buttons, not only do they cover a lot of space, they interact with her buttons in not good ways, right? She does have options, but it's pretty annoying. I've seen Cam probably. He's this. Well, I don't even know if he's active, but the strongest West Coast active Jacko, I would say, semi-active. Get really frustrated in the Raven matchup because of these things, right?
Yeah.
Her anti-airs aren't the best versus him. All right. Oh, you could pop buster that.
Yeah.
So she's kind of forced to rely on like 2S in some situations, which can anyway. It's strange. You want to get those homies out, and you want to try to protect them long enough to kind of run Raven over. Otherwise, he can just really control the situation versus her.
Yeah. I also feel like he has options that are pretty good at challenging the houses. Like scratch from a well-spaced position against the houses is pretty
Good.
good at beating them without very much risk.
Yeah. So 2H scratch also.
True. Yeah.
Although I would actually, that's not true. Scratch, if you can make her block it. Otherwise,
yeah.
Like because of whiff recovery, can be annoying.
Yeah, I was thinking like if you just throw out 2H in neutral, it's going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, 2H in neutral can often get punished by them like instant air dashing over it.
Yeah.
And it has so much recovery, you're getting hit.
Definitely want them to be blocking it or getting hit by it. It's very bad for it to just go out there.
That 2H gap is also really important for defense versus Raven to know about, because you want to kind of IB him out or be at a range where like you can block 2H at the tip and like be able to get out of the scratch follow-up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
American going back to character select.
Done with the Raven. Oh, we're going to see a Chimerican on Sin, it looks like.
One thing, like American has been putting a lot of time into like different characters, so you know, if all that time on one character, imagine that character would be at.
Yeah, that's actually something people talk about with this game, is like, you don't necessarily need to play only one character, but it will definitely help you improve faster to do so.
Yeah, and the good check with Marslash there. But also, like, there's something to be said for learning, like, how characters work, and, you know what I mean? Like, because it's work you're going to be probably putting in, like, at a later time and date. It's just, like, when do you do it?
Yeah,
When do you choose to do it?
You're going to have to look at every character and know what their options are in X situation.
Yeah. It's on airborne important.
Oh,
airborne importance. Yeah, so I mean, one important thing that's always like the easiest spot to look at where you can prove is your combos and converting off of hits into combos.
Right.
And that's
yeah.
Because that's something you can go to training mode and practice easily. Set your opponent to jumping. Walk away a bit from them and practice getting stray hits, like from either ground buttons or air-to-air buttons, and before you know it, you'll just be able to see the hits.
Yep. I'll have this starter. Okay, time to do this combo.
Yeah, her air
Soda Gods!
Do more damage. Yeah, JD is a monster of a button.
Yeah,
it does
that button hurts so bad.
70 together, I think, maybe more. I feel like it's 30, 40.
That sounds about right. It's a lot. Ooh, nice combo.
30, 40. This is, I feel I'm such a nerd. I know so much random fucking knowledge about buttons and shit. For reasons.
For reasons. I mean, it's good to know.
It's 30, 40 and honest.
Obviously use their frame advantage to go for a summon, but American ready for it. Eat starting the combo?
So one thing about it being 30-40 is it's actually never going to be actually 70 damage.
Yeah. Because the second hit will be prorated by the first.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you just beat up your own mom. Kind of fucked up.
With a flagpole, no less.
Yeah, seriously? It's very rude.
Yeah, Kuja out here leveling up not only from these games, but Anonymous out here just spitting facts.
Yeah. Got the Disney knowledge for him ready to go. This is a matchup that Roth has actually been looking for a while, leveling up against.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think Raven, Sin, very important for Roth to learn how to deal with. Now, Roth, that is something you should have done versus Raven, I would say, because like they're kind of gonna play the game the same way, right? Get those houses out, Aegis them up, so he can't kill them yet as soon as possible. All right, put a house.
Yeah.
There you go, 2 out.
Nice.
And that
Actually.
one thing you have to be careful of versus Jacko players. Once they recognize you are trying to kill houses, is they will like let you kill one and go set down 2 more.
Yep. Sacrifice houses, 4 houses. Actual real estate mogul.
Good blocks.
Oh. I believe
air dash
Roth put the
out,
houses
too.
away.
Wow, Roth looking
We'll have
real
to
strong
deploy
in
them
this
again.
matchup. See, and like, this is another thing. Like, when I was a beginner in Rev 2, I played thousands of matches versus my Dizzy friend before I was really willing to able to like wanting to go fight other people, right? Before I felt good enough about my gameplay. And the thing is like I had no experience in other matchups, and I looked terrible in them. But if you put me versus like any Dizzy, I suddenly looked like, you know what I mean, really strong.
Yeah, you know the Dizzy show?
You're like, wait, I got this one.
I know what she does.
And I just, so many high level Dizzy just like, how do you block that? Or like, how did you know? It's just like, I don't, but I just do it. Like, if you were to ask me how to tell someone to defend against Dizzy, I can't really tell you, but my defense is okay versus her.
You just know. You've done it enough.
I've done it enough. It's not the best, but it's okay.
For me, it's kind of weird. I have a similar strength, but it's sort of turned on its head.
Oh no.
Where I have a hard time defending against people who play Raven that aren't Theophrastus.
Yeah. That's understandable because everyone plays differently.
Yep. And I'm like, I see like a glide string, and I'm like, wait, that's not what Theo would have done.
Okay, but who else do you fight that plays Raven?
You do.
I know, but besides me.
When Razor was entering the NXVs, I would sometimes play against his Raven. It doesn't come up that much, but whenever it would happen, I'd be like, I have no idea.
Yeah. So that's one thing that's tricky versus Raven, and gets even worse when you do Raven versus Raven mirrors. Is like once you start to learn like how the block strings from his glide work and how they're really tricky if you hit different buttons. Like, not only do you be like, okay, I know how to deal with these, you start thinking about what if he does them instead of just kind of relying on like, no, he's only doing this one thing. You start thinking out like, yeah, but what if he does the other good thing?
Yeah. What if Glide ends in H? What if it ends in not 3 hits and they just drop? You know.
I would say that the most important thing for players to learn about dealing with Raven is that if they fuck up and do the JH too early, throw that shit when he lands.
Oh yeah.
Just IB it and throw it when he lands. Although I've been thinking, I finally realized, okay, this is just me talking about Raven, but I finally realized the answer to that is if I noticed that I got fucked up and and I did the JH wrong, I should go into Scratch or Needle because they're definitely going to try to throw me. And it's like, this is basic level knowledge that I should have been thinking about, right? Like, anyway. Like, wait, I should just do another thing after that to play it and call it a frame trap.
I mean, recently that's actually been a block string that Theo's been going for a lot, is ending Glide with like 2 or 3 hits of JH, and then mixing up like between landing and becoming vulnerable to throw, or doing a delayed scratch.
Yeah. Because the even multi-hit 2-hit JH can still be plus. It's when you get all 3 hits timed at a bad time.
I see.
Like like if they do the glide JH and like you're able to like, it's good if they hit with 1 hit at JH because it has this reduced hit stop factor, and you don't want to fuck with that. But if they fuck it up and you're able to block multi hits, then it becomes like, oh, if they land, I'm gonna toss them.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like, I would say for that is if he goes for the scratch, to like, it's not as safe as you think it would be. Like, he can do nothing and be safe, but he can't do something after.
I see. Yeah, so the challenge after the scratch.
Yeah. Ooh,
that's a general thing that would be helpful for like a lot of new players and me in particular is like knowing like recognizing when people are resetting on you and they can't be resetting on you.
Yeah. And that's a knowledge check thing, right? Or like, what are common reset points that are fake? And usually if someone's dashing over in your face, be it air dash or ground, it's fake. Oh, and unable to throw the house in time. A lot of meter to work with. Roth teching out. Roth, just play every matchup like he played the Sin matchup. This is what I'm telling you. Just every matchup is the Sin matchup, Roth.
Yeah. I love the sound effect on the staff there. It's so good.
It really is.
So crisp.
I had to steal it.
Yeah, the knockdown.
Ooh, backdash out of the situation. Dust. I'd like for Roth to just kind of take this chance to set more houses and keep them out. I feel like either he's, how do I put it? Maybe he's taking it easy.
It's possible, yeah. He was definitely experimenting with some like explosion setups.
Yeah.
Like he organized the explosion homie, but then
Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, okay, Roth. I get it. I get the message, Roth. Thank you. Mucho gracias.
Mucho.
That's a 17-hit combo. Oh no!
Oh, the big counter hit.
Yeah, that is a big Slayer button. All right, maybe like kind of burst safe.
Yeah, I don't think you would have been able to burst there unless Roth tried to do something as you were falling.
No respect. Like,
Don't you have any candy?
Plague just got the game. I was gonna say like, oh, taking a break. Gotcha. I support taking breaks for your hands. I got a present, and I'm gonna open it now. It's a present to myself. And the thing about the Sin versus Dizzy matchup is that she definitely doesn't want to interact with Sin at all. And I'm not really sure how free she can summon a neutral even at full screen. Because I'm pretty sure you can just like dash up beat driver things.
Ooh. I like the way Kudro's experimenting with buttons.
Yeah. Definitely can't get the chance to summon. She has to kind of use that air movement to navigate around Sin and then secure a knockdown. And then this is this is versus everyone. But versus some characters, it's very much more apparent.
Yeah, I feel like there's some situations where Dizzy can get away with like full screen summon, but Sin is a character that can challenge that very, very easily.
There's a lot of characters where like Dizzy has buttons that can interact with the opponent in positive ways for her, but not in this matchup as much, I think. So that range at 5H, a bit better, but like what if he beat driver there, right? That kind of thing. So his far slash goes pretty far.
It's true. Also, like, in just a second, he can recognize you're, like, in the middle of doing something that isn't necessarily active, and he can just L-con in.
Well, like, Sin's basic ground being B probably eats, like, a third of Dizzy's health from the start at the least, right? So...
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say... What looks like
Sin damage is pretty high. Sin damage is pretty high.
It's not actually a third, but it looks like it.
Yeah.
Ew, I just had a really weird thought. If, like, what if butter became more and more buttery as you got down through the stick of butter? So the last 30%... Okay, so you had a stick of butter.
Yeah.
And you cut away half of it, and the butter gets into guts territory. And suddenly the butter is, like, twice as buttery. So you just have this concentrated butter you weren't ready for. Anyway.
I feel like everything should work like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's not over yet.
I feel like it works like that mentally. Like, for me, like, the less life I have, the stronger I play.
Yeah.
Butter I have left is a lot buttery.
I like the initiative to summon and then use your meter to go in with it.
Yes. Oh, the good challenge on the dust. I'm gonna take it with that flame pillar.
Nice.
The one thing I think of, like, adrenaline is so fun, or like life and death situations, right? From some people can like just turn your gameplay from bad to good. My best memory about it is playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and the gummy sections actually have some kind of fun like shooter bosses, and I ran into this one that was like way higher level than me that I defeated easily later on when I was like the actual level, but at that point in time it was like definite challenge, and in the very beginning I nearly died fairly, like I got close to like really low health early on, and then suddenly like gamer mode was on and I'm playing perfectly for a long time. Like I get to the boss, I'm dodging everything, and like I died to like the final mechanic that like I dodged easily later on, and my girlfriend's there, and she's just like, "Why are you only good when you're nearly dead?"
It's the adapt factor. You
Yeah.
gotta be ready for it.
And it's just one of those things. It's like I feel like I
Ooh, the
like
YRC
almost aim to play
recognizing.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about this part of my life bar. I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a resource.
It's how Soul players play. Life is a resource. Can you block low? Today we'll learn. Now, the thing is,
Yeah.
special Soul is very important to learn how to fight. You might think later on, like, oh, he fights like this. Well, you know what? If you don't know how to deal with it, he's going to catch your ass. And
Definitely.
Grand Viper is, like, somewhere on the brink of being a meme move, but also really good. Because it's really good.
Yeah, no, it looks silly, and there's a couple properties of it that are objectively silly, but Grand Viper's pretty good.
I think it's memed on because it's one of those moves that are so good that it's easy to rely on. And so it's like, oh, Wake Up Super is a meme, right? But Wake Up Super are also going to catch your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's definite situations players can create that, Grand Viper is the correct answer.
Yeah. There's after one of our most recent sets, I was playing with Neil, and he made like a bunch of GIFs of us playing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw them.
I saw one of them.
There's one I'll have to share in a second where I did Wake Up. I forget the name of the super, but Elfelt's bazooka.
Judge Better Half.
No, the bazooka, the gun.
Oh, the bazooka. Yeah.
Yeah. And as soon as he saw the bazooka get pulled out, he Grand Vipered from full screen and went under to kill me.
It's generous.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll post that.
Soul is annoying? Yeah. Oh, so is Ram, though. Uh-oh. Soda Guts.
This song is so good.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No.
What's up?
I did something on the copy paste.
Oh.
Goofed it.
Hey, Bash.
Yes.
Can you warn that person and not for me? I'm not sure how it works.
Oh.
Correctly.
Sure.
It's right there, so
Oh, yeah. I got it.
cool. Grand Viper, can you deal with Soul? Here we go. Camerican. Showing you those Camerican blues. Just notice that he's also blue. Have all the color choices been blue?
For Camerica, no, but most of them have been, I think. I posted the Grand Viper going under the bazooka, by the way, and Steam Net Play if anyone wants to look at it.
Oh, nice.
Actually, let me put it in Twitch chat as well.
Here, it's okay. I got it. I have the power.
I forgot the input, but I know Dizzy has the shield flame guy. Is that any good? Yes, it is. It's circle forward D, your dust button.
Can't
And
talk,
yes, it's
babe.
very good.
Playing Soul.
It's sort of situational, like when it's good and how it's good, but it's a strong thing to mix up with your other fishes that look like it.
Oh yeah, Shield Flame dude, he is your homie. He is the one who will carry you to victory later on in life. Once people are like, oh ho ho, I know how to deal with fish. Shield Fish gets you out there.
Yeah, because like one of the main things that's really good against the flame fishes in particular is hitting them. And if you hit the D fish, uh-oh.
Think of it as one of your best options when you're full screen and you can't think of anything to do.
It also lets you, if the opponent begins to respect it because they don't want to hit the D fish and get countered by it, it lets you begin to summon daggers as well. Good blocks by Yankee. One of the big things to dealing with Special Soul is like punishing him, which is like one of the reasons it's really strong against other beginners is that like they won't have the punishes ready that will disincentivize Soul from restoring specials all the time.
And you have to be so ready for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not trivial.
I usually spend at least a game getting hit by it before I'm like, alright.
Enough of that. Let's cut it out, please.
One day I'll get to the level where I'm just ready for it.
Yeah.
So I use May's announcer voice simply for the reason that she can't say Elfelt correctly.
Yeah, she really has a hard time with it.
Also, it makes me think about. So I started with I'm old. I started with Guilty Gear X, and Guilty Gear X has the most indecipherable announcer ever. It's really hard to describe. Like, it was something that they like slowly became more and more legible as time went on, to the point where like Accent Core actually had like a normal one, right? But like XX announcer is, you have no idea. It almost sounds like the old Star Fox announcer, except you can't understand it at all. So like announcers that I can't understand, I like. What are they saying? I don't know. Counter maybe?
Yeah.
Round start danger time.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, good jump. Yo. You can already see that. Oh no, is this what we all generate to? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, good blitz. He's hitting those buttons. Hit some more.
He is. Oh, the gunflame's gonna get wild thrown.
V block.
Yori yori dusty. Just for a time check, we're coming up on about 2 hours for the stream. I think that's probably a good place to call it.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do another rotation. Full rotation. And call it there.
Yeah, that works for me. This has been really cool to see all these people come out. I haven't seen a lot of them. I haven't gotten to see play very much.
Yeah,
I think American and I think I've actually gotten casuals in with Saucy before. Besides that, like everyone's new, which is really cool.
my personal goal is that I wish I interacted more with beginner matchmaking channel, but I'm sorry. This is my best I can do. I don't mean it in like a bad way. It's just as a mod, I like you guys pretty much like don't need to be modded as much.
Yeah, that's true.
So
there's other channels that need to be audited a bit more. Which is good news, by the way. The
Yeah.
beginner matchmaking community I've seen has always been pretty polite
Yeah, I really like.
and behaving.
I used to watch it a lot because we have this fear of like people giving like really bad advice to each other, but it hasn't become an option. I think the difference was like how we presented the room. So
Yeah.
there's one thing about being a beginner and judging yourself as a beginner is that you probably don't have a good view of what beginner actually is.
Yeah.
So you
I
might
forget who I was talking to, but I compared like am I a beginner still in Guilty Gear to the classic like tomato fruit salad thing.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, maybe it's a Southern Belle adage, but knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, but wisdom is not putting a tomato in a fruit salad. Yeah, so knowledge is knowing that Bash is a beginner, but wisdom is not putting Bash in the beginner bracket.
Yes, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're a beginner, but you're not that. But don't go beat up the other beginners. Come on.
I'm a beginner in a way that I think would be very frustrating for other beginners to play against. Especially with Zato. Like for a while, like it got pretty bad to play Zato against beginners because he can be so oppressive.
Yeah.
If you give him the space to be.
And then you're not really interacting in the ways that beginners need to interact with each other to level up.
Exactly. Yeah. It becomes like, can you learn this Zato minigame, which doesn't really help you for like getting better fundamentals.
Kudro, if you keep with Rev 2, you will hate everyone by the end of your journey, or the middle of your journey. Or rather, you will eventually hate everyone.
Yeah. Your relationship will at least be very complex. For me, I hate them all, but I also love them all.
So I do make sure to like tell people if I'm getting salty, like I'm not mad at you, I just hate your character in this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Like, keep playing me, please. Just don't take what I'm saying to heart. Because I'm sure
I have to beat you with this is step play. Ah.
But like, I'm sure you're gonna feel the same once I do the thing I'm gonna do to you.
Right. Yeah.
Look, as a Raven player and as how I play, I've been told that. Well, I've had people get off the setup playing real life and me going, I fucking hate this character. I've had people refuse to shake my hand or look at me.
Oh no.
I've been told that actually, Adapt, you are quite frustrating to fight sometimes, and I'm just like, okay. So, be aware that people will voice things that don't necessarily have anything to do with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you'll know when it's you and when it's your character. But even
Definitely.
then, just keep being you.
Yeah,
I hate Lord
yeah.
Byron out here, super strong. I hate every character, yes. This is a Leo player. Just saying. No, I'm kidding. So no, I've got a response to this. I'm gonna pull this up on my stream real quick. I tweeted this out a few days, and this is my actual feelings on that.
Except if you play LFL, that shit's personal. I got some bad news, Pazoo.
So with the with the header here, Leo players when they parry my burst for the 100th time in a row. Oh, we got Dr. Paradigm here.
That.
A wise decision, Second King Leo Whitefang. You are far more capable a human being than I initially suspected.
Oh man.
Alright, let's get it off. Oh, gets down 2 houses though. Not a bad trade. 3rd house out. Ooh, gets the block. Alright, we're homing
Yes,
up.
I'm doing the jump back.
Alright, get the cell phones. You called me what?
Pull up the receipt. We're leveling up. Giving the homies the Kool-Aid. They love it. They're thirsty. They're coming out. Oh, nice throw.
My name is Karen, and you did not give me my latte. I'm gonna speak to your manager.
Jacko, but I am the manager.
I am the manager. I would love to see that. Like the manager comes
Yeah.
up through line, and the employee's like fucking up. She's like, "Let me speak to your manager," and the employee like looks really confused, like, "You are the manager."
Ooh, nice.
Oh, could have
Good
killed
move from
him.
Roth.
Or could have got the knockdown rather.
Yeah, the jump back FD. Checkmate.
I know Roth loves the explosions.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say this is my style of play, my ninja way.
Yeah. Watch out. I will sacrifice the homies for the cause. No remorse.
There's always more.
Yep. Especially S homie. Fuck that guy.
Oh, and
It is my personal belief, by the way, that S homie is
Oh, no.
unreliable.
all right, there we go. S homie?
He's unreliable. He's a fraud.
Which one's S homie?
He's the one with the stave.
Oh, okay.
Because his job is that he'll target the opponent if they're in the air,
No,
but like kind of whenever he wants to and not every time.
he's annoying. He's like the homie in the background who like he's not gonna fight, but he's talking the most shit, and sometimes what he says really hurts.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he gets those bars, like what? You think you got something? What? Like
However, K homie is the goat.
Yo, K homie level 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. As a Raven player, S homie I think is the one that messes with me the most because I'm in the air a lot.
That's true.
Like it is kind
I
of
think
whatever
it
he
is-
wants,
it is
but
kind
it's
of matchup specific.
yeah. This is a good time.
Oh.
Actually, wouldn't mind running a bit more like beginner themed streams.
Yeah, this is nice.
Maybe trying for him, just like not just chilling and watching. I don't mind chilling and watching people play. It's just kind of talking shit. Not talking shit, talking the shit. That's what I meant to say. Shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit.
Oh no, there it is! Oh my god!
Oh no, I missed it. What happened?
Okay, so Roth sets Aegis. Kudrow sets Shieldfish. Kudrow air dashes into the other side, and Roth swings, activating the Shieldfish just in time, and it goes through the Aegis and hits. So it's just, I don't know, you know? I set Aegis well. Yeah, you guys should have them more often. Hell yeah. Do these
Yeah, I'm
every
glad
week.
that you like them.
Well, I mean, I will aim to do them more. We'll put it that way. We have
Yeah,
like.
we'll talk it out.
Let me. I do a lot, so it's not about that necessarily, right? Like it's more just about available energy.
Yeah. But I think doing like casuals is cool.
Yeah. The casual stream I'm fine with. Like when I think about it that way, I think I would like to aim to do more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe like midweek.
Yeah, midweek casuals would be cool. Yo, is that Spider?
Yo.
That's Spider.
Nice.
If you spend any time in the Road 2 Discord, Spider is always in the voice call. Always.
Oh, almost closes out the combo. And afterwards, I'll do this. I will stop the stream, maybe, but I will keep the stream, the lobby going, so you guys can get those games going
Yeah,
until
that'd
it
be
kind of just peters out. Why is Peter so unreliable? What happened, Peter? Why is that a term?
Peter's out. He's done. He's out of here. Yamete.
You know, if you want, I might just keep this stream going and keep commentating, and then you can break. I don't know. I don't mind going for a bit longer if you want to just take off.
Okay.
Because I'm just kind of, yeah. Because at this point, I'm just, we're just chilling.
I might hop in the rotation for a little bit if
Yeah.
things are petering out.
Go for it. I know you got that L felt, so.
Yeah, I'm still learning. For sure.
Look, the way I look at it is that no matter how far along in the game you are, like you start saying I'm going to play my secondary, I start to view it more as a beginner on that character again, right? There's players out there who I know one who's incredibly strong, and then they tried to switch to solo at one point in time, and it was my goal to just never let them beat me in tournaments, especially just like not yet, not until you put that time in.
You may be good, but that soul is new. That's a beginner soul.
Grab a beer, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm in Cali. Take with that. Take me what you will. Ooh, Cujo getting it.
Nice.
Yeah, Roth, I think playing more like trying to interact more. Get some data.
Yeah. Roth has left the room. Thank you for playing, Roth.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah. The overhead?
Internet being weird. Yo, thanks for coming out, Abstract.
Yeah. Bursting against Ramlethal is really hard.
I almost considered using this one for the next video I'm releasing. So
Yeah, it's really good.
A little bit of spoilers of what the plan for the release video is going to look like. I'm aiming to make it look more like an opening would, right?
Oh,
so it's not really going to feature any long combos. It's going to be more just like really short things, new move, clashing, that kind of thing, like a normal opening would be. And I'm going to use Big Blast Sonic.
Nice. Big Blast Sonic is maybe my favorite Guilty Gear song.
Yeah. What I really like about Guilty Gear songs and the themes is that a lot of them really strike me emotionally when I listen to them about my goals for the game. Because there are a lot of like rebellion, being yourself, reaching for the sky, etc. So it's like, hell yeah!
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely a soundtrack that like you feel so good listening to.
Yeah. Big Blast Sonic is like, I decided to do this thing, and I'm gonna do this thing. Big Blast Sonic.
Yeah. One day I noticed that my life was broken, baby.
Yeah.
It wasn't me who was controlling this body.
I've been thinking about, I do actually have a Patreon I made that I have not ever shown anyone. Because I don't know, it just feels like, I know I should do that because everyone does that, right? But like, if, I don't know. I feel awkward.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Plus it'd be like, oh, I can even just have it and not add anything, but like, I don't know. I've been considering doing it just so I can start writing about like my goals and philosophies on like the game and characters.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to like share the information, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And then people want to support it monetarily, they can.
Yeah. Because I don't think I should close myself off to that. Like everyone, like if I think about another creator, right? It's like, yeah, like take the donations, right? Like, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice to see Ram once in a while. Hell yeah. Ram is a character. How do I put it? So we have this really strong Ram named Puddles. Incredible. Knows a lot of tech. Lands their combos all the time. I saw this gem of a message from years ago, and it's Puddles saying, I think Ram isn't for me. She's too hard. I can't even do this one thing perfectly all the time. Should I stick with her? And I didn't see the answer. I just saw the question. I already know the answer, right? I don't need, but the thing is, it's just like seeing that and seeing how far they've come was like awesome. Like, okay, cool, you know? So that's the important thing. As long as you just stick at it. You gonna get in this rotation?
Where is it?
I can see that. I struggle to even do her specials. I understand that. I think people really underestimate how hard fighting games are to play. If you look at the top players, everyone drops their combos, right? Whether it was the special input or just a single button press. So, like, teaching your hands to do that reliably, you know, it takes time and effort.
Yeah. Also, you have to be comfortable with all of the Tekken routes, right?
Yeah. And she's
And
really...
like when to use which ones and how and why.
I almost picked up Ram, and then I saw she had 2 sets of normals when she deployed, and I said no.
Yeah, that's one of the things that holds me back as well.
But she's, you know, she's there. If I wanted to learn her, I could. It's brutal fighting a good... Oh, it is. I think, honestly, like, no matter what level you get, it can be really demoralizing to fight a good any character. Like, if they're just showing, like, complete control of you.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the reason Ram can be really demoralizing to fight as opposed to, like, some other characters is that her run back factor into Oki is incredibly high. Because Ram has the potential to carry you from any 5P air hit to the corner and run her Vortex on you. Which, a Vortex being her Oki routes and whatnot. That will just loop into yeah, and they'll just loop into each other, so you're always in the corner if you eat that mix-up.
I feel like Ram is also a character that if you haven't blocked her Oki very much, like it could be very, very hard.
Well, her strings are very long, you don't know when her combo's in, she resets with dust intentionally sometimes.
Yeah.
She's got a command grab, she's got giant swords on her head, like, there's a lot of visual noise.
Definitely.
It's really hard to see her normals when her swords are deployed. Like her 5Ps, because they just kind of get hidden, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Jay Adventure hopping in. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. Oh my god, the taunt?
You get one chance to get out of a corner pressure, yeah. What I really... This is funny. I hope... So Rams at some point learn this side swap Oki that can or may or may not involve YRC, but a lot end up going for the YRC to keep it safer. And I kind of end up hoping they go for that, because then you go, oh shit, I got a chance to get out. If you do it right.
Yeah.
And they do it to, like, if they can't open you up, they go, okay, well, I'm going to side swap him, and how block this, and you're like, oh, finally a chance.
I'm out of the corner, thank goodness.
Now, even if you end up blocking from the other side, it's still better than the situation you were in. Oh, we got Bash on board.
Oh, many fouls, no!
So, my Xbox Series X came today, and I am opening it up right now.
Oh, nice.
It's my Halo Infinite one, so expect extreme levels of toxic masculinity. I got Battlefield 2042. Just expect extreme levels of toxic masculinity from me in the future. I'm just telling you right now. I'm kidding.
Oh no. Don't let them get to you adapt.
Man, this has a lot of stickers on it. No, I am just, it's not even about the console or me. I grew up really poor. And so owning my own consoles were always like this dream to me. So I just really like to own them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now that I'm able to. Heavy Day is a kick-ass track. I used that one for sure. That's on my last promo video. I was actually surprised that I was able to find 4 vocal tracks that, like, I vibe so hard with. I think break a spell is kind of pushing the limit. No, that's not true. You got wanna be crazy. The thing about some of the songs is that they don't hold up as well all the way through for like videos, because they tend to have like strange bridges and stuff.
Yeah.
Dice Gaze rocking out. So this I actually managed to snag from Walmart. Like, and I managed to beat out the bots for it. I sat clicking for like...
console?
Yeah, I sat clicking for like 10 minutes, and I was about to give up. And it finally went through. Now I've got my Xbox fridge. I should sign up. I got these multiple things for like Xbox Game Pass I should use for like 2 months. 2 months. Maybe I got like a year's worth.
Yeah, you never know. Oh.
Well, as a consequence, I also have an extreme, like, I really like owning my games also. Like, physical copies.
That makes sense. Like, it's cool to have the actual product in your hand.
Yeah.
Please wait until the opponent returns. Uh-oh.
Oh, did we have someone join late?
I think so. We'll have to give it a second, then we can just switch cabs. Okay, we're good.
That's fine. You like Tsukino Shihai? I actually, even though it's my character's theme, some parts of it are alright, but I kind of don't care for it. I know. What's funny is I like the vocal tracks for XR way more than I like the actual XR tracks.
I would agree.
I would say just because like the style of metal changed, and I just didn't vibe with it as hard as say like a lot of his older work. Strive is its soundtrack is all over the place. I don't know. Like
some of it is really good and some of it is really not good, in my opinion.
There'll be songs where it's like, oh, I really, really like this part, but then overall I don't. Also, like, I really don't care for the vocals on Strive.
Yeah, like, that's the main thing for me.
Smell of the Game was like the limit.
A lot of them are really good instrumentally to me, but I don't like the vocal track at all.
Oh my god, so I gotta take a picture of this. My cat is in the box.
Oh, hell yeah. For the new Xbox?
Yeah.
Nice throw. I've noticed that actually in all of my games so far, that all of them are challenging me on with throw really well.
Throw is one thing, like, you should always try to throw when you're a new player, even if you get punished for it, to learn where you can throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, boxes and cats. I posted a picture of it in Discord in the Not channel.
I smelled the jump. I smelled it. You want it out. Incorrect. Stay there, please.
So Bash trying to play corner control here. That is something you should think about. Is that if you have the corner, it's not your prerogative to go in more. You just want to keep them in the corner.
Yeah, that's something that like is also kind of what you were talking about earlier with the paradigm of like trying to win. Like once you have them in the corner, you don't necessarily need to rush it as well. Like sure, you want to be oppressive and keep them there and lock them down, but don't necessarily want to play too risky. Yo, my connection with Sodagus is godlike. Yep, there's the challenge with the throw.
Yeah, I'll aim to do more beginners lobby streams weekly. Because I'd like to just kind of get more into streaming in general, if people are interested in it, right? Like, my problem is that, like, when I think about playing, I don't want to, like, I can't always play myself, so. But if I'm just opening up lobbies and letting people play. Oh no, he went into the other box now. Oh, you cat. Oh no, I took a picture too late and it's him jumping out.
Ooh, nice jump out.
I always get Dashio confused for you, like, for a split second. Just like Bash. Yo!
Oh, I used my cheater move. Oh no.
You wanna go in this one too, Winnie? This one's not even
Get in the box.
It's just like the cover for the box. I have 4 cats to amuse me with their antics. I like the mix of projects you got going in the Discord now. Thanks, Stro. Thanks for helping us too. Well, I shouldn't probably say it live, but like if commentary is something you want to get more involved with, we're definitely willing to have you out here. Especially now that you're East Coast, right? And I've definitely improved throughout the night. Hell yeah. I think that's one thing I need to recognize more is that a lot of people grow from this sort of help.
Oh yeah, definitely. Asking questions and then directly applying it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like in the same like conversation is like so useful.
Getting answers. I'm not gonna, well, I will toot my own horn a little bit. Because I think that as far as beginners go, like, I'm a fairly okay teacher and how I deal with people also, where like I really don't try to focus on things they do wrong, right?
Yeah. No, that's very important.
Whereas like a lot of people, it's really easy just to point out mistakes. And I think that's really the wrong way to go about it. Like, it's important to point out mistakes later on, or in ways that, like, you give the answer to the mistake instead of, well, in a better way, basically, right? Not just like, you fucked up there, like, da-da-da-da. It's just like, doing this there would have been a good option, and this is why.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, for Answer, he has this card projectile, which he has 2 of them. And one of them goes like across the screen at the speed of light, and combined with Wire C becomes one of the best projectiles in the game. Meanwhile, Elfeld out here. Am I gonna have to attack and dethrone God so the others can play?
I once I'm done with the rotation, I'm hopping up.
Okay.
Or at least going to the back.
So when you hear that, you better just beat her. Get that Leo out here. This is
the Shade Venture. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
If Kamarican wants a shot at the murdering the bash, I'll stay in. But otherwise, I'm gonna hop to the back
Leo?
again.
I don't know what your main is, Comerican, so I don't know if you even have one at this point.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is Jay Adventure in our Discord?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so at least.
No, a main. What's your main character? I need some. I'm gonna take some allergy medicine. I'm always so stuffed up. Faust. Okay. This stream is degenerated to just me listening to music and half singing.
I love the song.
Hell yeah.
It's so good.
I
It's
mean,
been my practice theme for a while now.
I'm really emotional and I'm sappy and I'm a dork. And these songs mean so much to me. It's really hard to, like, I just hear them and it's like, sky should be high!
Should be high.
Backflow!
Ooh, nice.
When I met with actual people. You know, that happens. It's really hard. Like, because when you, basically your name is Comerican. All my friends in the FGC, pretty much, they all might know my name. And in the right situation, they might know it by now. But, like, for the most part, we just call each other by the tags. Because it's easier for everyone. Because there's a lot of people where it's like, you're not really ready for them to call you by your real name yet. Or maybe that's not what you want, right? So it could definitely be difficult. Because, like, a lot of the time I want to call Daemendo Peter. And, like, no one knows who the fuck Peter is.
Oh, I see,
unless you're West Coast. Nice throw. And Strobes, if you're still out there, I don't know. The Rev 2 Discord is only going up, hopefully, right? It's all
right,
vision.
did you want another shot at God, or should I hop off the cab?
Let him attack and dethrone God.
Okay, understood.
I figure if the plus R Discord can turn it around, then so can the Rev 2 Discord.
Yeah, we got this easy.
Yeah, we got
just
this.
Gotta be positive. We just gotta be loving the game. And that's
well,
what we do around here.
I think the thing is we finally got a moderation team that cares about the game and wants to grow the game. So.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. And the thing is like inspiration and passion begets inspiration and passion. So, and on both sides, it's important to remember, because I had this teacher once who helped me a lot, like, in editing my poetry. And at one point, he actually had me, like, read a poem of his he had written. And because my passion, basically, for it had inspired him, like, and kind of, you know, like, made him want to write poetry again. And so it's like, it goes both ways. The
That's
teacher
really sweet,
inspires the student, and the student inspires the
nice.
teacher.
I see. Ooh, nice challenge.
Oh, he's gonna bop you.
Yeah.
God ain't shit. Just
I
remember,
ain't shit.
God ain't shit. I had this. I had this thought the other night, and I'm not gonna get religious about it or anything. It was just kind of a random thought, and I think it vibes with a lot of it. It was like, for me, like, a God can exist, but if I look at the universe, there is no perfectness to it. Like, that's the design of the universe is imperfection. And if imperfection is how the universe grows and evolves, then a God, too, must be imperfect. Anyway.
Yeah.
And on a counterpoint, there would be some people who would say the point of God is to have perfection then. Anyway, that's all I got. We'll bring it no farther. Friendly discussion. I know that kind of thing can get dangerous.
Yeah.
Just like this round.
Oh!
Oh no, poison can't kill. But you did have 1 health left.
I did. I was very scared.
To be honest, I think things like this, I wouldn't. Oh, I think you mean like you like things like this because you wouldn't have an online fighting experience that are not just friendlies. Yeah, you know, it's kind of one of those things, right, where when you're just playing randoms on the internet, you don't get as much of a bonding experience. Like, you don't know who that other person on the other side of the screen is. You don't know what they did was mocking or not. Maybe you thought it was. Maybe they just hit a, you know, they hit taunt on accident, but it was at the right time, right? Like... And I think in this, the meta that streaming has become in society, right, where it's much more about like connecting with people than necessarily watching that streamer, even though it's definitely a big part of it, right? The streamer is like the person who connects the other people.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I'll tell you what, next week, will I be free next week? When's Thanksgiving? Is it Thursday?
I actually don't know. It's sometime next week.
Next week on Wednesday. Maybe? I do commentate Tuesday. Wednesday or Thursday, depending on... Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'll run a beginner lobby stream.
Sick.
That Faust knows what he is doing, I think. Yeah. So this is
Definitely.
kind of... you know, we were talking about it earlier. This is the range of beginners. Right? Now, I would say for American that what he's learning right now is going to be the matchup spread. And once he feels a bit more comfortable in that, he'll start to think of himself less as a beginner.
Yeah, for sure.
Which do you think are the most overused and underused characters? At this point in the game, like, half the cast is underused.
Yeah.
Or like even overused characters like are more rare, right? Like there's like Soul and Kai would be obvious choices for like who you might see more, but they're not really overused either. You just kind of see them a little bit more.
I wouldn't factor like who other people play into your decision making for who you want to play as well, though.
You feel overused as Johnny? I think Johnny is very underused, actually.
I could give you the numbers if you're interested with our Discord. We know the number of people who play each character.
Are those reliable?
It's somewhat reliable.
Yeah. It'll give you an indicator. You could also, like,
Do you know?
you could,
Do you know what the least played character is according to our Discord statistics?
Zato?
No.
Who?
Bedman.
I was gonna say Bedman next.
Yeah, it's Zato is second though, I think. I think there's a lot of people who secondary Zato and have him in their tag.
Yeah. I don't like tags. Can't label me. Oh, that is the that's not actually unblockable, but I like to think of it as the unblockable online.
Yeah, that's not trivial.
Because dealing with that block string on Ram is knowledge check, one of the basic knowledge checks, but also it's so fucking hard to do.
Yeah. It's not over yet.
I would say, like, if you're seeing a lot of Johnny Ditto matches, one, they're either memeing, two, there might be, like, beginners or friends. But, like, as far as the general community goes, like, because Johnny's fairly difficult to not just play, but play. The important thing is Johnny's difficult to play correctly. Like, you generally don't see as many Johnnies. I'm gonna mute for a bit. I'm gonna go feed my kitties. I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, Johnny is one of the less played characters with the Discord, at least. Just under Elfelt. Or not Elfelt, Jacko. Elfelt's towards the upper middle, for reference. The most underplayed are Bedman, Answer, Zato, Axel, and Koom. On a related note, Ram is actually one of the most played characters in our community. There's a lot of Rams around here. Especially there used to be quite a few. Like if you go back and watch tournaments, Puddles doesn't enter as much anymore, but Puddles is very, very prolific. As well as Red Delta, who's in, I think, med school right now. And Solstice, who still enters occasionally and is actually going to be featured in our exhibitions tomorrow. Oh, God. Yeah, Faust is popular, but I want to say overly popular. He's also one that I particularly don't play very much against. I would like to see more Faust, so I'm glad to get the matchup with you, American. I think Faust is really cool. Plague is still on the shopping trip, trying to figure out who they want to be. Ooh, the big 6H. Indo could kiss. Accident. Uh-oh. Yeah. Making sure you faultless defense specials as much as you can is very important. That's one of the ones that will just kill you if you don't faultless defense it. Ram and Venom are two examples of characters that will definitely kill you for not properly faultless defensing. Faultless defense has other uses besides just avoiding that chip damage, but it's one of the important things to keep in mind as you're learning the game. Oh, the taunt? From downtown? Ooh, nice start to a combo there for Soda Guts. Go, Menemina. It's okay. May we forgive you. I guess she's talking to the jellyfish pirates when she dies at the end. She says "Gomene Mina." Just sorry, everyone. It's okay, May. We forgive you. I wonder if it would be helpful for me to talk while I play. I feel like maybe it would be. I've only been playing Alpha for like 2 weeks now, so it's still a fairly beginner character. Oh.
Faust's dive kick is really good. Like, incredibly good.
Oh yeah, it's very strong.
And let me put it this way, like, if I find something that opens you up or clearly annoys you, because let's be clear, like, fighting each other is a conversation, then you might just do that thing because, you know, you're out there to win that conversation, basically.
Yeah.
This is why I yell at Puddles every time he does KKP to me and hits me with the overhead, because he knows I'm gonna fucking try to do the thing to beat it and fuck it up and get hit. without fail. Yo, Valentine battle.
We Valentine. Oh, I dropped the heart combo, unfortunate.
Is that, you know what annoys me more than anything about it? Is that it's freaking plus.
Yep, it's plus.
Like, your reward for blocking it is you block more. I'm pretty sure you can, like, I mean, there's options to deal with it, but that's what I'm talking about, is that if you fuck up the option, you die.
Ooh, nice. That was a good job by Soda Donuts for keeping the pressure up.
Yeah.
Definitely maintain the momentum. Volt's JD is really strong in situations like that,
Yeah.
where you want to keep them at like a particular distance and stay safe while applying just a little bit of pressure on like their escape attempts.
Felt just, her JD is just good.
It's really good, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna get in here and bop you coast to coast with my Slayer.
Oh?
Maybe.
Gesundheit.
I think it's 0 if you ID it. I'll look real quick.
Thank you, Pineberry.
So it's KPP.
Ooh,
right?
nice.
Yeah. +3, -1 on IB. For that one. 2KPP.
What are you talking about, the overhead one?
Yeah, it's both of them are +3, -1.
On IB is -1?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
I mean, I could show y'all the Raven, but we're not out here for that. Although it would be fun. Beat me.
I mean, if you want, you can show the Raven. I can pull up the Zato.
Nah.
For the folks at home. Uh-oh, my burst did not work.
But I will get a game in and then rotate off if I win.
Okay.
Unless people want to fight. It's just Slayer. It's just gonna be me doing fundamental things on some Slayer. Yeah, +3. Oh, plus our line has gotten low.
Just J Soda Guts and I, it looks like.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go. Alright. I might get bopped here.
Adapt Slayer. Oh, I get the good skin too. I love this color. It's so good.
He's a vampire.
Yeah, he's gotta have the black sclera. It looks so nice. Oh, Kamarican heading out. Thank you,
There's
Kamarican.
the overhead. Good grab.
Ooh, yeah, nice. Oh no, the H! Oh no. Bursted on time, it's so scary.
Yo, I'm on Slayer.
You always gotta be ready for that bursted on time. Ooh, the double cross up. Playing DBFC out here. Oh, what? Sodaguts' pressure is already pretty good. Sodaguts ready for it.
I bet it all. One thing.
Oh yeah, you got to.
One thing you can do also is like if you know how to put it, like it's okay to play rougher and more like a beginner. Like, you don't gotta go all out. Do that wake up super, you know? Do that thing. Let them know. This is all stuff you gotta know.
You ready? They gotta be ready for it. Nice. It hurts.
And that Slayer. My Slayer?
Slayer?
You've heard mummers about it? I don't even have a Slayer.
I've heard the rumors off in the distance on the winds.
I wouldn't mind picking back up Slayer if I was going to mess around with a secondary, though, because he was my main during Sign. It's also why I quit Sign. But I also knew more combos back then.
Yeah.
His links were so fucking hard.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Autocorrect.
Nice.
Thanks.
That was fun neutral at the end there.
6P startup. Ooh, it's nice 6H with punish.
Hey, wait a second. That's what I was doing to you. Think I'm safe.
Good job. I thought I whip punished.
Yeah, I know. I was to say. I actually thought you might whip punish too. One of the big things with Slayer is like making sure you can stop his movement forward with active lows. So my brain was like, oh, okay, well, I'll punish movement if it happens here with this 2D. But as Adapt recognized it was risky to do that there.
You masher.
We're baking the cake.
That's so lame, it won't connect right there. I guess I needed to special. Or maybe I just missed the link. I hit the fucking 2K though, that's annoying.
Oh no.
Do you know that the fucking close slash far slash close slash far slash 2K, that link is actually kind of annoying.
BGs.
Like you're always gonna hit it, but like it's always weird too.
Like getting it consistent is hard.
Once you get it consistent, you'll always get it, but like up until that point, it's just like kind of a weird link. It always was for me, at least. I'm sure others would be like, "That shit's easy." Like, yeah, whatever.
That's also a thing. Like the things that are executionally challenging is subjective.
Checking that low space. Oh no, the blitz recovery. We're hitting buttons out here.
We are.
Were we able to help out person with the frame drop issues earlier at all?
I don't know if they said anything after they left to go check it out more.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll at them with the potato any and also like talking about V-Sync stuff.
Yeah. Maybe hit him with whatchamacallit thing Lucky wrote on how to just maybe get some frame improvement.
Yeah, I think that's in How to Online, maybe. I don't remember where that document is.
Yeah.
Man, when Elfeld is full screen and she has 25 meter, it's like so gross.
So there's something about Southerners and being able to play Elfeld with gun really well.
Oh yeah?
You know, well, Hitachi is pretty well known for his gun usage.
Yeah, Hitachi for rifles specifically, I think.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, you used to go out there shooting. No, okay. I actually grew up shooting a lot of guns in the forests of California.
Oh really? I see.
Well, I guess we were poor, right? So, but my dad would we'd go out for the weekend and have like $20 and you could get like a box of 100 bullets or something for $10 or something, and we just go fire them all off at, you know, target practice, and then go home.
Yeah.
I got so many stories about that guy that sound like fiction. Or like really, really bad fiction. Ooh, nice blocking your own grenade. A lot of life to work with here, though.
Yep,
Ooh,
that's gonna be it.
Don't know why it keeps taunting when I do stuff with Kai. I mean, I unbind taunt personally just because I don't want to hit it on accident.
Yeah, I think I hit it on accident once, and that was enough for me. I was done.
I've got other ways to taunt.
Yeah.
The guiltier way to taunt is to go into IK mode after you kill someone. Which I have done once in my life, and I don't... And the thing is I did it versus someone to, like... It wasn't even to be mean, it was to, like, try to inflict mental damage because he was just that good, right? Whereas, like, the best thing I could do was do this. And who knows, it might not have, you know, it could have also been the worst thing to do. Maybe it leveled him up, but, like, you're trying to go for that mental damage. But you can't break a robot. You can't break CT Warrior. It's CT Warrior for robot warrior. No. Good block. I would say Soda if you get that hit, go into steal for the knockdown. Man, Bash getting the crash course on how to deal with ram gatlings out here, or ram links.
Yeah, it's pretty important to know, like, how she can end them and what, when and why she'd want to end them a certain way.
Oh, LT was that. That's why. Wait, what? I don't know what you're saying there. Oh, you're left trigger. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, like on pad.
So many things in my brain. By this point, I'm just like scatterbrained. Why
No
is
worries.
LT taunt? That's a good question. That's like, huh? Well, it's
Yeah,
gotta be something, huh?
typically it's select, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's by default.
So this is actually a really tough matchup for Slayer because I think he's messing with his controller. Yeah, alright. Because Kai's 2D is so active that, like, he can't really dandy. And we're at a 7F here, but that's alright. We're living our best life.
Yeah.
Yo, 7F Slayer, don't trust me. I'm just breaking you in. I'm breaking into the truths of the world.
This is how it is, okay? That's how it is out here.
Oh my god! You didn't see that 2S hit me from the side swap? Alright, but we're playing beginner mode here. Give. Like, my Slayer is defeatable.
Not bad.
There it is.
Hey, nice. Not punch.
Sorry for the 7 frames there. I am West Coast, so don't be too mad at me.
California boy.
I can hop off. I know everyone here is more East Coast inclined.
I don't know that everybody is East Coast.
Yeah, I guess so, alright. The 2D matchup, you're not wrong. Ugh. Oh, you're EU and I had 7 frames to you? That's fucking great. That was, like, actually playable. Like, not really, but play. You know what I'm saying, right? It was like semi-playable. It was consistently 7 frames, which is more than I can say.
Yeah, most of the EU is gonna be like 12. Oh no! Oh, ready for it. Let's go.
I hit back. Well, I get like 4 to 6 frames versus East Coast, depending. I mean, sometimes just 6 frames depending on where they're at. So like having a consistent set, it's not good, but like it's surprisingly good. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd expect it to be worse.
Toss him.
Oh, hit 9 frames right there.
Oh no.
Sorry. I'll fight Bash and then I'll hop off so good. I'll make those guys deal with this.
West Coast side of things. Alright.
It was like 4 and then it went to 9 frames. I could have killed. That was so fun. Whoopsh! Welcome to your life bar gone.
Yeah. Rejected. The animation is so sick, actually, with his like he's like clawing at you.
Yeah. Who is this? Give on Potemkin. He'll bop me.
Give Timpkin.
First off, Give. I have some people I just get weird connections with. Give's one of those.
Yeah.
Then
My connection with Give is like kind of. It's variable. It's variable.
Exactly, it's variable.
Also, Give is a villain. Knows that you're on Slayer. Picks Potemkin.
Is he the villain? I'm the one playing Slayer.
Well, no, I was saying since he's a Slayer main.
Oh, I know,
and then he picks Potemkin into you.
Oh, I'm just talking. Yeah, I know. I'm just talking about shit about Slayer. That's all. Oh,
You're not
you
wrong
had
about
me.
that part, though. The only reason you weren't the villain in our matchup is because I'm playing Elfhalt, the only character more villainous.
Oh, he did it. Traded. Jacko?
HPPYRC.
Dare you to guess what that was?
I have a couple of guesses, and all of them are dead on time.
It's okay. I really don't mind going out like that. I have one goal in life when I'm on Slayer, and that's to play Slayer. So that's what I just.
And
did.
that's the first dead on time.
Yes. Look,
win or lose.
Well, I mean, I thought I'd have the punish, but you know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Give with one goal versus Slayer, and then he just knows that if he hits Potbuster enough, at some point he'll do it, right? Versus Slayer. Like, oh shit.
At some point, Slayer will put himself into it.
Yeah.
That conversion was sick.
Oh, big hits. Oh no. Alright, well, out of it. Oh, woohoo!
Oh my god, the interaction was crazy. Tiger DJD, a true reversal.
Yes. Especially with that really slow jump startup. Oh no. No! Not like this.
Not like this.
Jordan, the truth is that everyone is evil in this game. It says heaven or hell, and they all picked hell.
Yeah, they had a choice, and well.
But see, it's all about free choice.
Yeah.
Well, this is a tangent, but I was playing Rev Zero at like 4 a.m. last night, and the more I'm able to play it, the more I'm able to appreciate its differences, and like I'm really starting to understand that like you can play Rev 2 within it, and it feels different, but once you start playing Rev Zero, like it really feels like a different game in a way. It still feels like Guilty Gear, but it feels like its own game too.
I would agree. It definitely feels fundamentally different to me from the time I spent with it. By the way, Zato in Rev Zero, cracked. That character's so good. That character's like actually top tier in Rev Zero.
Yeah, I've been wondering, because like I was so fearful about balancing Raven, but then I've been playing Raven, I'm like, this shit's fucking hard. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Like, he's potentially, like, he's where I want him to be at in Rev Zero, which is like, he has a really runaway factor, and he has to manage his excitement to win. Excitement and meter to win. Even more.
Yeah.
Gibson doesn't use backdash. That's weird because he's a Slayer player. Maybe he doesn't know that Potemkin's backdash is really good. He's just moonlighting right now.
That one? Yeah.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I do admit I have a fondness for pale silver hair. Because most of my avatars end up having that color of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will admit the hidden weakness of my soul. I will try to dust loop at the cost of winning.
Isn't that the weakness of every soul?
Pretty much.
Ram does, yeah, Ram can set swords to easily call out pot backdash, given the option. But even still, that matchup's terrible for Ram versus a good pot. Pot can flick swords. So think about it this way. You set the sword and have it delayed to catch the backdash. Instead, he just wakes up and flicks. Yeah, mash that shit. So when I learned how to play Guilty Gear X was this burned copy of the Japanese version that I was playing on my Dreamcast. So I didn't know any of the move names beyond what they shouted out, right? It was all in Japanese. It took us like a year or two to figure out that if you mashed for Grand Viper, it'd do more hits.
I see.
And then also the follow-up kick to DP. We were like, whoa, you can do that? It was like in Reload, after Reload had been out for a year or two, where like I finally was the one in the group that learned how to RC first. So beginner can mean a lot of things, because I definitely played other aspects of the game okay, right? Like I knew my like basic level combos and stuff, like converting at levels, but like I didn't know the game.
Yeah.
I always really like when Rams whiff cancel and then like hit you with the second or third hit of the Rekka on makeup instead.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We should make up some graphics for Here Comes Daredevil and Hellfire.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Just so I could, like, when I post them, like, you know, whatever. It's what people do these days.
Graphics are nice.
I want to take some time and try to figure out how to make the Netplay versus logo, like, be able to present it and then have info with it also. I don't know. Like, at least it looks good as, like, the video cover for, like, the YouTube uploads. Thumbnail, I mean.
Right, yeah. Uh-oh.
It's dangerous. So I think the important thing to learn to deal with Slayer at this level is you don't want to RPS with him.
Nope. Don't play the Slayer game.
So, like, you see Slayer's got 50 meter and you knock him down, like, he's willing to just, you know, gamble the dice and go, okay, you're not going to block this.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I have a hard time dealing with Slayer is, like, when you knock him down, because of the way BDC works, as well as just his general backdash, like, you're not necessarily at a good advantage in terms of, like, running conventional Oki.
Oh, this is oh no! Good. Good.
It was a quick recovery.
No, it just whiffed.
Oh, I meant like literally the not the recovery in terms of like the game, like in terms of Soda Guts realizing like, oh shit, and then throwing out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought you meant like for whatever reason they recovered out of Dizzy and like made the thing with. Anyway, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Does IK not work on Dizzy? That can't be true.
I don't think so. I think it does. I know like Red IK does. Like that was like one of the main implementations of Red IK.
Yeah. J Adventure Jordan. Johnson? No, Jordan. Do you have a main? Ram Kaya's aside.
I see.
Well, luckily
Oh,
you were
Dara.
already here for my Ram inspiration speech earlier, so.
Gibson from downtown.
Big old pot limbs. Have you ever sat and thought about how fucked up pot normals actually are?
Oh, they're good. Like, they're big.
His 5H just covers the screen. You're like, wait a second.
Yeah, 5 is very good. 2D is very good also.
Your meme butt was kicked. It's okay. As long as you keep hitting enter and enjoy the time, figure you're learning something. I would say find who you enjoy playing the most, who makes you want to play the most, and stick with them. And try hard to learn the hard things on the, or how to put it, learn the easy things, but don't like stop yourself from going to learn the hard things. Like, attempt them and fail until you succeed. And what you learn from that is what brings you into being able to exceed in versus matches. Because you can lab all you want and hit all those combos, but drop them in a match because you're not ready for the pressure. Do you play Tekken?
Oh no!
I checked my viewer list real quick, and there's someone named Why Have I Done This? And that's a good name. Why did you do that?
Oh no!
Ranked matches made me hate Tekken 7. I mean, I can see that. I think, I don't know. Like, yes, there is something to be said about ranked matches, but also they're kind of bad for player mentalities also.
Definitely.
Especially, like, in a net play environment where you have no real good way of interacting with your opponent beyond what you're doing on screen. And you feel like you're putting more on the line, so, like, emotions are higher.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just someone else on the other side of the screen drinking a beer and having some fun or something.
I think it's harder to keep the ego out of learning
Yeah.
when you're playing ranked.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Because it becomes like so much more of a value judgment. Like you're trying to win at that point, right? You're not learning anymore. At least that's how you feel about it.
Yeah. Give out here, give him J Adventure, Jordan the Potemkin crash course.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she has to deploy and then hit a button also to catch him out of slide head. Not slide head.
Oh.
Hammerfall.
Yeah. Ram has like no multi-hits.
Yeah.
And if you're close enough to be combination attacking him, he's probably gonna hit you with the hit of Hammerfall before you can hit him again. Most likely, though not every string is like that.
You can maybe 4P mash, but I don't. Maybe 2KK, because it's like the multi-low.
Yeah, I think 2KK would probably work. Also, most of the like KPs would work if you hit them with like the tip as he's moving forward.
Yeah, if the key was I was saying is if you can get the sword hit and your hit to go together at the same time, like that.
Yeah.
That was an air hit, but it would have worked for Hammerfall. Like that, yeah. Yeah, don't even interact. Oh, this is different. But this is, Sodagut's approaching this matchup kind of how you want to, Jordan.
Yeah, don't play Pot's game. Pot likes it when we play Pot game. So don't. Just don't do it.
Stoners always talking about being stoners.
Is there context to that I'm missing, or are you saying that's how it is with Pot?
Oh no, so pot like marijuana. Stoners always like just talk about being high.
Yeah,
like,
classic Pot players.
And other times they got high, so that's like the meme or joke there for me. So like pot players just doing pot things over and over.
Yeah, what could be done?
Don't know how to think you don't. You stay far away, and then you knock them down and run Oki if you got it. But you have to interact with them, but you want to interact with them at the right ranges. Like, I imagine if Gibson's just trying to do 6H at that range, Soda could be slightly farther and 2S it. With a sword 2S. Oh, and there's the JH catching out the Dashin. Jeez. Yeah, this is a rough matchup. And one thing Gibbs not even toying with at the moment is just the flick on the swords.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to zone him out a bit, but like you have to, because of the way Pot plays, you have to do it in a way that is really unpredictable. Plus, he's always going to know that you're trying to keep him out. So it's more about zoning him out and checking him. You don't want to, like, try to go in and interact with his buttons at a close range. Unless you're at advantage. Like that, right?
Give found Pot
just gunflame. Gunflame again. Gunflame again.
Mega Fisto, Mega Fisto.
He's not, you know, he's not flicking.
Yeah. Oh no! I messed up Tyrant Rave.
Nice. I was wondering what that was. Just misses the flick. That's funny. Nice Fafnir. Uh-oh. Until you Fafnir into his loving arms.
Everybody's gangster until you Fafnir into Popbuster.
I think the worst I ever felt was like I did some glide string and then I landed and he Popbustered me. Or no, the worst is like doing close slash and he IBs it and Popbusters you out of the gap. because you left the gap.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oof. There you go. Just do it. Do the thing. No, not that.
I don't know what the thing is.
I mean, the thing is, Dragon install do super.
Oh, I had 100 meter. Yeah.
Yeah. Who can defeat the Potemkin?
Who? Ramathal versus Chunkin.
Wait, was it Jordan who's out in EU?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the games either, Jordan, with that connection. I need food. I shall be back.
Yeah, I also need food.
You make noises? Say hi. Alright, Kiku won't say hi. But I got Aether over here.
Playing meterless Guilty Gear, baby. Meter was a mistake. No more meter.
That's Aether.
Oh, what did the? Oh, what the? Trishula, Trishula. Foreboding walk up. I believe in Soda Guts. Oh, nice. Able to get the 60 or 5d6. Oh no! Trishula YRC Oki? Okay. Oh, combo? It's a black beat. Oh no. Come on, Soda Gods, you can do it! Yeah, punish him! No! Not like that. Not like this. Punch AD things. You have every right to be angry about the state of this world.
Looks like we're winding up here.
Yeah, most likely.
It's been a good stream.
What you do?
Hopefully I didn't just break the cab. Oh, it's looking tense. I'm watching from the sidelines right now.
Oh no!
Pop Buster, take the round. Yeah, this lobby looking decidedly not beginner anymore. Even with alts. You better win.
No. I will not win. Except spoiler alert, I won.
He's going to bed.
He's going to bed. Put him to sleep.
Faust is good.
Faust is very good.
I mean, if you were to like ask me, like I would say play Ramlethal if you like Ramlethal. Otherwise, don't play Ramlethal. Like the Ramlethal players, right? Like it's very important that you like her. I forgot. Are you vegetarian?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, we're hitting buttons. Oh, if that hit you.
That I would have lost it. I would have thought that was so funny. But no,
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. This time, at least.
Yeah. Going my way is so tricky. It's active just a bit longer than you think it'd be. Wow, what did that hit? What? Faust hurt box. Wow, the reverse hitting 6P.
I just tried to do the across the pond dust loop.
Really hit him with the flames.
Yeah. You need to see a doctor. Damn.
You get one.
Oh no.
And then I'm gonna call the stream.
Okay.
It's been a good time, but I'm brain dead now.
Understood. Ah! Whoa! From downtown.
From downtown. You may not know, but Raven has Beat Driver.
Oh, I knew. Oof. The damage.
I decided to cash out.
What?
I could have killed off the OTG.
I was trying to do burst tyrant rave.
The first time you seen Raven in action? Well, I think my Raven's a bit different, but still, we're all the same. All right.
Every raven is the same raven.
Yo, shout outs to everyone for joining us today, hanging out with us. It's been a great time. Even if the tournament kind of had low entrance, it's really nice to see just the interest in general, just kind of having it out there. So definitely I'll aim to be doing this kind of stream some more, and look forward to seeing everyone again.
Yeah, same here. It was cool to see a lot of new names, as well as some familiar faces.
Let's see if I can, if anyone is ready. Nah. Unless you guys want to watch some Capcom versus SNK 2.
Uh.
Alright, we'll just call it there.
Yeah.
Everyone have a good night. Thank everyone for the follows. That was, I think I got like 9 people today or something. Pretty good amount. Thank you, everyone. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. For sure.
Have a good night.